That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, Hawkeye Baseball is on the air. Hawkeye Baseball is brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community by University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Now live, this is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball.
From the campus of Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, it's time for Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Live from Bart Kaufman Field, it's Game 2 of the series between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome into the broadcast booth in Bloomington alongside my fine color analyst John Evans. I'm John Leo. How about those Hawkeyes? A wire-to-wire dominant win over Indiana yesterday. That brings us to the Saturday morning contest, an opportunity for Iowa to win the series before the game maximum. The Hawkeyes will see Indiana's ace today, a tall right-handed pitcher that has a ton of strikeouts on the season. But lately, Iowa's plate discipline has been a strength. Marcus Morgan returns to the rotation. He'll get the start on the rubber for Iowa today. It's Game 2 of the series, the Hoosiers and the Hawkeyes, Indiana and Iowa, live from Bart Kaufman Field with first pitch coming in a bit. Well, it was an incredible performance yesterday. Brody Brecht, he dazzled. Brennan DeRiggi delivered. And Jacob Henderson slammed the door. A few highlights from Iowa's 7-1 winner last night. Here's one on the ground, through into right field. It's a base hit. The Hawks are going to have the lead. DeRiggi scores. Huckstorf sprinting for third, and he'll slide in there. It's an RBI single. Raider Tello. Hawks up 1-0. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side, past a diving third baseman. One run is in. They're waving Honar. Here comes the throw. Not in time. 3-0 Hawks. Braden Frazier, yes. He's missing a little bit more to the outside. Here's one on the ground to Tello at third. He'll throw it to second for one, on to first for two. What a hang by Brennan DeRiggi. 5-4-3 double play. 1-2 to DeRiggi. Drilled deep center, carrying well. Get going, baby. It is gone. Ha-ho! Brennan DeRiggi. Boom. The pause, the 0-2 pitch, line drive right center. This one's trouble. Huckstorf and Frazier come together. A diving play! Braden Frazier, are you kidding me? Bases loaded for Kyle Huckstorf. He drives it deep to left center field, carrying well. It's down and to the wall. One run is in. Make it two. Are they going to send a third? No, they're going to put the brakes on Brennan DeRiggi. It's a 2 RBI double. Kyle Huckstorf, 7-1. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Henderson is set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Hawks win. 7-1 on the Friday game over the Hoosiers. Iowa's win last night boosted them up to 22-6 overall. Indiana dropped to 20-10. Iowa now even in Big Ten play at 2-2. The Hoosiers are 5-2. We're getting set for Saturday's matchup, Iowa and Indiana. We'll see the Hoosiers ace today. They'll throw out Luke Sinnard with a 3-1 record and a 4.26 ERA. He's 6'8". He's a tall drink of water. He'll be doing the pitching for Indiana today. Iowa counters with Marcus Morgan. Excited to see what Morgan has on the mound for the Hawkeyes today. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with pitching coach Sean McGrath right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Welcome back to Bart Kaufman Field. Pre-game coverage continuing. Game 2 of the series, Iowa and Indiana, joined now by pitching coach Sean McGrath. Coach, a pretty good performance by the 2 guys that you threw in there last night.
Yeah, they did a great job. Brody was ultra competitive, super efficient, and then Hendo came in and slammed the door nicely. He's been a really nice piece for us. He's kind of my security blanket as a pitching coach. It's wonderful knowing you could turn the ball over to a guy like that who's going to throw strike one and going to compete and throw quality pitches.
He got all of his outs with strikeouts, Henderson, yesterday. Really improved the past few weeks.
Yeah, he's done a really wonderful job. He gave up 2 wind-aided homers against Maryland, and those were the first 2 hits he gave up all year. He's been rock solid for us, and really happy that he's on our staff, like I said. And it's nice to have that security blanket, knowing guys going to compete and make quality pitches.
The way yesterday's events turned out, with your starter going 7 and then Hendo coming in and finishing the job in 2, that's probably what you're looking for in a typical best-case scenario, sticking to the plan.
Yeah, that's a Friday night. And I thought Indiana did a nice job with their game plan against Brody, but I think the adverse, the other side of that was that they allowed Brody to stay really, really efficient, to be through 82 pitches or whatever it was after 6 was really good for us, something we needed. Brody got length, real Friday night length for the first time all year, and it was great to see.
Before we get to today's pitching matchup and the way you expect the rest of the series to go, let's go back to the midweek. How are the midweek guys coming along?
Really nicely. We had an opportunity against Bradley this week to get a bunch of guys out there, and obviously Hendo was out there and he looked great, he did a great job. But you got Aaron Savary out there, got Keaton back out there. A number of guys came in and competed well, and for me personally, Jack Young's been working really hard to kind of, I guess, recreate an arsenal, and went out and trusted it and got the last out of that midweek. So, things like that, small victories are kind of what I look at, when as a pitching coach. that people just outwardly don't see. But he's worked tremendously hard. He's been phenomenal, and it was nice to see him to get the last out last week.
Yeah, as a staff, feels like maybe the confidence getting back. I'm not sure that it was ever really gone, but seems like it's ultra present now.
Yeah, like you said, you hinted at it. I don't think the confidence was ever gone. We ran into a tough weekend with Maryland where, the wind was blowing out, and we made some pitches that, they benefited from, just because of the weather and the circumstances. But with that being said, I think guys are getting back to it, kind of getting back to one pitch at a time, competing with full conviction.
So today, getting the start is Marcus Morgan back in the rotation. What are some of the things that he's done to earn that spot back?
Well, Marcus objectively has been pretty solid. He's had a couple innings here and there that have really skewed his numbers, but if you took out, a handful of innings, like legitimately 5 innings of work, he's pitched to All-American numbers, and that can't be understated. And Marcus is, one really phenomenal outing from taking off and never looking back, and I think that's what we're looking for. I think he's ready for that moment, for that opportunity, and that's why he's back in there. I believe truly he gives us the best chance, to win a weekend. By starting this game off and getting us off on the right foot.
Feels like a good matchup for him against these Indiana hitters.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana, they do a nice job, but again, I expect them to be in attack mode. They're not going to back down, and I think that plays into Marcus's hand. I think Marcus is going to do a good job of controlling the strike zone with multiple pitches. Something he's been able to do here recently is throw a 3 and 4 pitch mix, and so I think it's a really good matchup.
Full arsenal in the bullpen, with the exception of Jacob Henderson, so that's got to feel pretty good when Marcus is ready to be done.
Yeah, we're fully loaded, and we got Volk back there, we got Simpson, Louie. We were able to not have to throw Louie last night, and so yeah, we feel really confident about what we have back there, and we think we're set up nicely for the rest of this weekend.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Let's take this one today and win the series against Indiana.
Yes, sir, one at a time.
Pitching coach Sean McGrath on our pregame show from Bloomington. Up next, we'll talk with head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball today. Game 2 of the series with Indiana, joined now by head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller. Coach, a complete performance yesterday.
Yeah, it was, John. I was really pleased with our guys. Like you said, it maybe the most complete performance of the season to this point. You know, Brody gave us a fantastic Friday night start. And then Jacob Henderson came in and was lights out, you know, in the 8th and the 9th. So there was no drama. We played a great game defensively, and then our offense was scrappy and pesky on a night where the wind was really tough if you hit the ball in the air to get anything. And then Brendan Durigi had a big time game and just barreled some balls up, hit a home run right into the teeth of that wind, which I didn't think anybody could do. And then, you know, let's go back to the first inning, and we go, you know, 1 out, 2 out, and then we end up with a 2-out rally and put a run up in the first inning. And I thought that really set the tone for the offense, and you know, just a really, really positive night.
2-strike, 2-out hitting has been a theme of this team this year. It just kind of sends a message to the other team that we're not going to go down lightly at any point of the game.
No, exactly. And you know, we've talked every time here the last few weeks. Our hitters have done a really nice job of not chasing and making the pitcher throw strikes. We had an umpire last night that called a fair zone, a fairly tight zone, you know, compared to what we're used to, what I would call a real zone. I mean, he wasn't giving balls, you know, he wasn't giving strikes very far off of the plate like we've seen a lot of times, which makes it hard when you have, you know, a quality approach like ours, because our guys know the strike zone and they don't chase outside. And today, you know, that's going to be the theme today against the starter that we're facing.
Back to the pitching yesterday, just used 2 pitchers. I think that might be the first time this year that we've been able to do that. That's got to be a big sigh of relief. Good confidence for the group.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, an interesting tidbit that I don't know that the listeners know, Indiana pitched off last night, which you don't see a lot. They saved their Friday guy to throw today. They didn't match him up with us last night. So in reality, you know, we did what we needed to do, but we didn't see any of their guys that they go to when the game's on the line. And today they've got all of their good arms in the bullpen that we talked about yesterday, which is where their strength is. This is their best starter, a unique guy. He's tall, maybe 6'8", with serious down angle. He throws the kitchen sink at you, you know, 5 or 6 pitches. And he also is a guy that needs you to go off of the edges. He needs you to chase. He has some ride with the fastball, but it's a day, John, where we're gonna have to see, probably early in the game, sit on spin and see how that goes, and elevated spin. And the teams that have had success, it looks like that was kind of the plan. Penn State had a little bit of success against him, and it looked to us that they were setting on off speed. But anyway, that's kind of the plan today, and just kind of wanted the listeners to know, you know, we're facing their Friday night guy today.
How does that change our approach with things in the batter's box at all?
It really doesn't change ours. We just have the plan against this pitcher, and the goal is to get him out of the game sooner than they want him out, so that they have to expand their bullpen, even though they do have good arms in there. You know, their perfect world would be, you know, starter to Yoho today, you know. So let's get this starter out in the 4th inning, make them bridge with at least 1 or 2 other guys before they get to Yoho. So that's kind of what we're trying to do, and just hope to continue. This guy, he's not a very good athlete as far as a fielder. You saw the third baseman had some issues yesterday. You know, the wind's blowing in today, a little more of a crosswind towards left field, but still going to be really difficult to drive the ball to most parts of the park. I'm hoping that we have a good day with the short game. I think it's one of those days where we can make some hay with that. This is the one pitcher on their staff also that is the slowest to the plate. Their catcher does a really nice job. He's super quick on his release and accurate. He does a great job of blocking. We got caught yesterday, you know, on a ball in the dirt. We've had a lot of success with that this season, and it's helped us a ton. But you know, yesterday he picked the ball instead of blocking, and threw us out on the ball in the dirt. But point is, this is the one pitcher on their staff that we felt like we maybe could take advantage of some stolen bases.
Does the team don't know, have a extra motivation knowing that they're pitching off a little bit? Think they have a better chance to win today? They don't want to put their best against our best? Any extra to that?
I mean, it's a little rallying point, but ultimately it's going to be how good he is versus how locked in and how disciplined we are. And then obviously, how effective we are on the mound with our free bases as well.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show in Bloomington. Okay, we'll go with Marcus Morgan. He's back in the rotation today, starting pitching.
Yes, and Marcus has been sharp. He and Sean, our pitching coach, have worked really hard here the last few weeks, and really confident in Marcus today. I feel like that he's got a chance to go out there and really shut these guys down. I mean, his stuff matches kind of the holes in a lot of the Indiana guys' lineup, and I just think it's a really good matchup for Marcus. And I thoroughly expect him to go out there and do a fantastic job today.
What's the plan for him, knowing that you've got a full arsenal in your bullpen? Is it to get to 6 or 7, or maybe somewhere back to 4 to 5?
Well, it's just for me with Marcus, it's honestly as far as he can go and be clean. And the challenge is trying to get Marcus out of the game in a situation before it turns into a bases loaded, or trying not to bring the pitcher that's coming in into a really bad jam, and just trying to pick that spot where you feel like it's the right time to get to the reliever, and the goal would be to get him. And it's more than likely, if we're in the game and it's close, more than likely we're going to go right to Zach Volker. So giving Zach a clean inning to start. Hopefully Marcus can give us whatever he can give us, 3, 4, whatever it might be, and then just really trying to monitor his pitch count and where he's at, and get Marcus out as he's after a positive inning.
Offensively, the middle of the order really doing a lot of damage. DeRiggi, Tello, Huckstorf.
Yeah, those guys are doing a great job, and Rader's been on a 10-12 game tear where he's been really doing a nice job hitting the ball. He had some really big at-bats last night, and then DeRiggi had been, in my opinion, off just a little bit. Even on his off days, he finds ways to be productive and help the team. I felt like he was as off as he had been at Bradley the other night, and then last night he was as on as I've seen him. I mean, he was just destroying baseballs last night, and great at-bats and fouling balls off and 2 strikes hitting, and then Huckstorf, same story. Huckstorf had been a little out of sorts here the last 8 games or so, 8-10 games, and again, when Huck's off, he still finds ways to help. I was really happy to see him hit that double late last night, because we need, with Sam Peterson out for a while, it would be great. It would be great to get Huck hot and get Keaton Anthony a little hotter, and Sam Honar has been really swinging a hot bat and keep Sam going, and then Braden Frazier and Michael Seegers have been doing a really nice job on the bottom, and up till yesterday, Cade Moss had a little bit of a rough game last night, but up until that point, Cade had been on a really good tear as well.
Wilmus and Frazier really doing a nice job filling in for Petey and Chase Mosley.
Yeah, for sure. They're doing a great job. And, Braden Frazier had an awesome game last night. He had a web jam in right field, just a great catch. And, he had a big hit, drove in a couple runs. So, yeah, kudos to them. And next man up, and they're taking advantage of the opportunity and really doing a nice job.
Keys to victory today, Coach, to take down the Hoosiers and win this series against Indiana.
Well, I think it's important that we get off to a good start. And I mean, in all areas of the game, set the tone that, we're going to be tough outs against this guy. It'd be great to put some runs up early. Marcus go out, just pound the strike zone and make them swing the bats. Continue with that great defense that we played last night, and then obviously the bullpen situation, just similar to last night. Jacob Henderson, what a great example. Just come in and pound the strike zone, challenge those guys and make them swing, and good things will happen, and I have a good feeling that Zach Volker, when he comes in after Marcus, that he will do that for us.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Let's win the day, take down the Hoosiers.
All right, thanks, John.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show from Bart Kaufman Field. We're moments away from first pitch of Game 2 of the series, Iowa and Indiana. Back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Welcome back to Bart Kaufman Field. John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth. Moments away from first pitch. Game 2 of the series, Iowa and Indiana. Let's bring in color analyst John Evans. John, we're riding the high off of the game yesterday. Hope it carries over to today.
Good morning, John. Yes, yesterday was, you heard Coach Heller say it, yesterday was kind of that complete performance. You know, one of the first or few times this year that you've seen all three phases, do it. You had outstanding pitching from Brody and Jacob, and the bats were good throughout the lineup, and you had not only the plays you were supposed to make in the field, but boy, a couple of beauties, including Braden Frazier's diving catch and right.
Yeah, really a complete performance, and it comes about halfway through the season, which is when you need to really get things going as we get into conference play. So we look at the conference standings. Indiana, after losing to Iowa yesterday, they dropped out of that top spot in the league. Nebraska and Maryland are now tied for first, each with 3-1 records. Nebraska is just quietly kind of having a good year. They're 17-9-1, so overall maybe not the strongest record, but still certainly very good. And Nebraska and Maryland up there at the top. Maryland is 18-11 overall. Indiana and Michigan State, also Michigan, they follow, tied for third right now, all at 5-2. Michigan State kind of out of nowhere having a good season. They're 17-9. They're 5-2. We'll see them a little bit later on this season. Purdue in the middle of the road with a 13-15 overall record. They're 4-3 in league play. Then a ton of teams tied in the middle, Iowa, Minnesota, and Northwestern, which is kind of strange that we're lumped in with those two schools because we're 22-6. Minnesota's 7-21. Northwestern's 4-20, but they're 2-2 in conference play just like us.
Well, and, the other thing, we were kind of joking about it at breakfast this morning. It's on one hand, it's too early to look at RPI and pay a lot of attention. But on the other hand, there's 8 teams in the Big Ten right now that have sub-100 RPIs. And that's somewhat unusual. Certainly had that been the case last year, Rutgers probably gets in the tournament. Iowa might get in the tournament just because of how good the season ended. So, the conference had some really good wins. You talk about, Michigan State had some good wins early on. You're just kind of glancing through. They played a good schedule and got some wins. They've beaten Indiana State twice. Who's a team that we've seen top 25 RPI team, so another good one there. Ohio State had some good wins, and those teams are all on Iowa's schedule. Yes, Iowa also has Minnesota and Northwestern who are kind of RPI barriers, but you've got some other ones that are pretty good, give Iowa a chance. And the most important thing is you keep winning games, and all that stuff will take care of itself.
Well, Iowa's win yesterday really helped in the RPI, didn't it? It boosted Iowa up quite a few points because Indiana had the best RPI in the conference.
Iowa caught a break yesterday. Finally the team, primarily the teams that Iowa has played, won. And then, of course, Iowa went and took care of business against a high RPI ranked team and jumped all the way up. I think at one point last night they snuck up into the 40s. Woke up this morning, they were 51-52. But, another win today, a sweep, and you could start looking at mid-30s. But, you get a win, and you split these last two games, you probably leave Bloomington in a good spot in the Big Ten standings and probably around 40-45 in the RPI.
Well, we'll look to keep it rolling today against Indiana, game 2 of the series. First pitch coming up in just a minute. We'll step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups, batting order, first pitch, Iowa and Indiana. Right after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Wrapping up the national anthem in Bloomington. We're moments away from first pitch between Iowa and Indiana. Before we get to the starting lineups today, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. All right, let's go with the starting lineups for the Iowa Hawkeyes first. Their batting order will look like this. Iowa 22-6 on the season now. Ben Wilmus, he'll lead things off, followed by the designated hitter Keaton Anthony, and then Brennan DeRiggi. In the cleanup spot is Kyle Huxdorf. Batting fifth is Raider Tello. Batting sixth is Sam Honar. 7, 8, 9, Michael Seegers, Braden Frazier, Cade Moss. So the same lineup as yesterday, same batting order as yesterday for the Hawkeyes. They'll take on Luke Sinnard. He's the ace for Indiana, pitching on a Saturday. Tall righty, 6'8", 250-pound sophomore from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Attended Western Kentucky for a moment. Luke Sinnard.
This will be Luke's 8th start of the season. He's 3-1 on the year with a 4.26 ERA, 38 innings, 35 hits, 19 runs, 18 of which have been earned. Only walked 9, struck out 49. Has given up 18 extra base hits. That opponent's hitting just 245 against him. Saw Penn State get to him a little bit. He's 0-1 in the Big Ten with a 6.55 ERA. So, it'll be key for the Hawks to be patient. He throws a lot of different pitches. He's kind of that the starter that has a whole wide range, a big arsenal of pitches, and so it'll be important for Iowa to make him come across the plate. Everything kind of works off his cutter. It's got a little bit of spin to it and a little bit of action. Really just almost one of those rare pitchers that kind of shows fastball just to kind of sneak it past you as opposed to really using it to get you out.
Scouting report maybe that he's not the greatest athlete fielding his position coming off the mound, so maybe one of those Heller ball type of days where we play the short game and generate runs that way.
Yeah, big breeze and, big guy that might be a little off balance coming off the mound.
First pitch from Sinnard to Ben Wilmus is a called strike on the inside corner. Wilmus, the sophomore from Johnston, he's kind of settling in as the leadoff hitter for the Hawkeyes. 0-1 pitch on its way home, swung on and missed. It's 0-2.
We were talking before the game today. Yesterday they had different stat leaders up on the big board, and Ben has the on-base leader in the conference.
Check swing, did not go. He held up Counts 1-2. He's going to have to work pretty hard to get on base to start this one.
But this is kind of what he does. You know, he's not afraid to, you know, a little bit like Michael Seegers too, not afraid to work behind.
Swing and a miss on the slider outside. Wilmus is down on strikes for the first out of the game. 50th strikeout of the year for Sinnard. It's a pretty good ratio, strikeouts to walks.
Well, the key will be for Sinnard and for the Hawkeye hitters will be early in the count. You know, if he can get ahead 1-2, then that lets him bring all those things in, and Hawkeye hitters will have to expand the zone. If they can dictate the early part of the at-bat, then that'll give them a chance to get that fastball in the zone.
Next batter is Keaton Anthony. First pitch, strike to Keaton. Umpires today, Jay Myers is behind the plate. Scott Klein at first. Pete Peterson out there at second. Greg Harmon is the third base umpire today. Anthony quickly down to the count 0-2. Sinnard really pounding the strike zone and throwing a lot of different pitches too.
Yeah, fastball, big bender.
He goes with the fastball there at eye level. Keaton bends out of the way of that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the first. Sinnard out of the windup. He's ready. Here's the pitch to Anthony. Line drive right to the shortstop. A sinking liner caught out there by Glasser, 2 down.
Little top spin lob from Keaton, and one of the things you see from him is you see a shift there on the defensive side, and when Keaton's at his best, you know, he's really looking to right center field. He's got a little bit into the pull idea, so see if he can get kind of back into that rhythm he was in earlier in the season.
See DeRiggi now. He'll watch a first pitch strike go right by. DeRiggi was the star for Iowa yesterday. 0-1 is swung on and missed. Nothing in 2. Sinnard looks pretty good in the early going. Iowa trying to figure him out.
And we saw this yesterday too. You know, that first pitch strike from Seiler in the first inning.
0-2, tap to the right side. This is a foul ball.
And so, you know, it'll be important for how Iowa can adjust and what they do then off of, you know, okay, if we're gonna see that first pitch fastball strike, what do we do afterwards? How do we deal with that?
DeRiggi gets a piece of the 0-2, sends it back. This is how Iowa got things started in the first, in last night's game with 2 outs. DeRiggi was able to get on. He was 2 for 3 yesterday. He'll hit a grounder to the right side, but fouled it off in the box, so he'll get another chance to stay in there. 2 for 3 yesterday, 3 runs scored, batted in 1 run. He also walked. Kind of interesting what a couple days will do, because as Coach Heller said, you know, DeRiggi just looked a little bit out of it in the game against Bradley, and then to have a performance like he did last night really turned things around. Watches this one go by. It's 1-2. Try to get that pitch count up a little bit more than he was on pace for after the first 2 hitters.
Yeah, we were looking sub-10 there to start, but getting a little bit more to a number that Hawkeye dugout will like.
Here's the 1-2 to DeRiggi. Breaking ball high, 2-2. He hasn't been able to throw. I'm not sure if that's the curveball or the slider. I think it might be the curveball, but he's missing it high a couple times. He got Wilmus out on the slider earlier.
Yeah, just not getting that one snapped down yet, but
2-2 to DeRiggi. That's low, ball 3. Great job by Brennan to lay off that one. And the count will be full with Kyle Huckstorf on deck.
Yeah, the curveball is usually a high 70s pitch.
Here's the 3-2, swing and a miss. DeRiggi down on strikes, a couple of strikeouts in the inning for Sinnard. And Iowa goes down scoreless in the first. We're back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans-win.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at MidAmericanEnergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Bottom of the first inning, Indiana will get their first look at Marcus Morgan in a minute. Let's set the batting order for the Hoosiers. Philip Glasser leads things off, followed by Bobby Whalen and Devin Taylor. If any of the Hoosiers get on, we'll see Brock Tibbetts in the cleanup spot, followed by Carter Matheson, their designated hitter. Batting sixth is Josh Pine, 7, 8, 9, Hunter Jesse, Tyler Cerny, Peter Ceruto. Defensively for the Hawkeyes, DeRiggy's at first, Honar at second, Seegers at short, Tello at third. In the outfield from left to right, Ben Wilmus, Kyle Huckstorf, Braden Frazier. Cade Moss doing the catching for the Hawkeyes today. On the mound, getting the nod, Marcus Morgan.
Marcus is 0-1 on the season, a 6.95 ERA. He's thrown 22 innings, giving up 19 hits, 18 runs, 17 earned, walked 16 batters, struck out 26. So that'd be the key. You know, we talk about it with all the Hawkeye pitchers, but particularly with Marcus is strike one, and then, you know, can he hit with his stuff outside of his slider? His slider's kind of his rock strike pitch, but can he hit with the other things and keep him off balance?
Philip Glasser's the batter, left-handed hitter, their leadoff guy, watches the first pitch miss outside. Morgan, the sophomore righty from Iowa City. Hometown Hawk, 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, that's a good, 94. Started with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, came right back 94 inside part.
There's one fouled back to the screen, really challenging the inner half of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, comes back cutter there and throws 91. So, good move for Marcus. See what he comes back with now that he's ahead.
Glasser's a great hitter, too, so it's going to take a great effort to get him out. He's staying alive. He's got just barely below 400 on the batting average, 387. He's played in all of Indiana's games. He started all of Indiana's games this year, all 30 of them. He's got 13 doubles, which leads the team, 3 home runs, and he's a stolen base threat as well, so imperative to keep him off the base paths. 1-2 pitch, check swing. Did he go? No. 2-2.
Good hold there. Marcus challenged him with the high fastball, gave a good show up around the letters, but just missed high, and Glasser did a good job to hold off.
2 balls, 2 strikes, pitch, swing and a miss. Morgan with the first strikeout of the day sets Glasser down.
Good job staying in there for Moss to stick with that with the foul tip, and hung on to it and got the first out.
All on the inside there. Great job by Morgan. Indiana in all white uniforms today, with Indiana spelled out in script across the torso, red with red numbers on the backside. They've got white baseball pants with no stripe down the side. Iowa countering with black and gold uniforms as the first pitch to Bobby Whalen is fouled off the end of the bat. Iowa with black tops, block lettering spelling out Iowa in gold across the chest with gold numbers on the left hip. Got gray baseball pants with a black, gold, and white stripe down the side. 0-1 pitch on its way home. That's inside. When Iowa's in the field, they've got gold baseball caps today with a black eye on the front panel with black bills on their caps. 1 ball, 1 strike. Morgan is ready. Out of the windup, the pitch on its way home. That's outside, 2-1.
I like the early sequencing from Marcus, really trying to establish the fastball, show he can throw it for a strike and be around the plate.
That's the key pitch for Marcus today, the fastball. A 2-1 slider just outside, 3-1. That had a lot of movement on it.
That was a really good pitch. Nice job there by Whalen to lay off of it as that ball just broke outside the zone.
Morgan takes a deep breath. He's ready with the 3-1. Here it comes. Hit out of play to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Came back with that cutter there that time. Right across the middle of the plate, was able to almost sneak it past Whalen, but just fouled it back out of the backside of the stadium.
Whalen was hitless yesterday. Here's the 3-2, chopper to third. Tello charges it hard. He's got it, step and throw, out number 2.
Nice job there. We talked about this a little bit yesterday with Tello at third. Was able to catch that up on a bigger hop, so he didn't have to try to play the short hop. So good quick feet there, got him to that ball where he was able to get it and whip it across for the second out.
Tello's been sure-handed at third for the Hawkeyes defensively this season. Talking with him earlier today, he knew that his family members would have to be up bright and early for this one out in California. Breakfast with the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, we'll get today and a good Easter Sunday breakfast for him tomorrow.
Yeah.
We start at the same time.
Really hammering these early morning games, huh? Batters Devin Taylor, and Morgan's missed a couple of times outside to him. Taylor's a dangerous hitter, a freshman.
Far and away the highest slugging percentage, 5 home runs, 5 doubles, and a triple. So a little bit of everything from him.
2-0 pitch, called a strike just below the letters, 2-1. Got a 368 average. Freshman from Cincinnati.
And he's a high walk guy too, so Marcus will have to attack him.
And he's doing a nice job of that on the last 2 pitches. Taylor a bit surprised. That one's a strike on the outside corner. Morgan looking at square in the face, straight into the eyes of a 1-2-3 inning if he can get Taylor out. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Inside corner, 96 from Morgan. How about that? A 1-2-3 inning. We've played a quick first in Bloomington. On to the second we go. Scoreless, Iowa and Indiana. Back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Well, both pitchers are off to good starts today, each with 2 strikeouts in their respective innings, and each threw 17 pitches. So the starters are doing a nice job through an inning of work. Iowa will go with Huckstorf, Tello, and Honar in the second. Huckstorf squares to bunt the first pitch. He pulled it back. It was a called strike on the outside corner. Good idea from Huck. 0-1 is a breaking ball. A lot of bump to it, but not enough. It stayed high. He's thrown it a few times. It's missed high almost every time.
Yeah, it's kind of that big looper. You can kind of see it as a hitter. You just have to identify it.
Swing and a miss on the 1-1.
But he's really been good with the fastball. He's been able to come back, get a lot of swing and miss so far from the Hawkeyes. So
you wonder if it's the movement on the fastball or just Iowa not seeing it well yet, as Huckstorf will pop this one up to right. Taylor will give chase back towards the track, but he's got it for the first out of the inning.
But that'll be kind of important. You know, you might see some Hawkeye hitters change approach just a little bit. You know, if they can jump on that, that first pitch fastball that he's been trying to throw, and he's been throwing it in the white part of the plate. You know, he hasn't been hitting an edge. He's been hitting the plate. So see if the Hawkeye hitters take an adjustment.
Raider Tello will take the first pitch outside for a ball. And that's kind of the thought process on this pitcher, is that he gets a lot of his strikeouts and a lot of his outs when opponents chase out of the zone.
Right. He his actual strike percentage isn't that high, but he doesn't walk a ton of guys because he gets ahead. And as he gets a swing and a miss there on a 2-0 pitch. But, once he gets ahead, then he's able to throw those pitches that look good. They've got a lot of spin, a lot of break, and he can get hitters to chase.
2 balls and a strike to Tello. That's downstairs, ball 3. You mentioned that he swung and missed at the one before that. He was trying to hit that off the scoreboard in left center.
He was trying to hit his picture out there.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch to Tello. Breaking ball. He'll swing at it, shoot it down the right field line. Taylor is over towards the line. He'll catch it on the run in foul territory. 2 down in the Hawkeyes' second.
Yeah, good pitch there from Sinnard. 3-1 pitch, threw a breaking ball up in the zone. And today you can get away with those, even if you miss up a little bit today. The wind's blowing in heavy like it was last night. Might get a little bit of carry, but with the sunshine, but I don't expect a whole lot.
Honar swings over the top of a pitch out of the zone, 0-1. It is a nice day here today. The sun is shining, but the wind is chilling the air a bit. This one's inside to Honar, 1-1. Always have to have some sort of weather report when we're in the Midwest, don't we?
We haven't had any luck so far to have one of those clean ones of a 75-degree perfect day for baseball as that fastball catches the inside part of the plate, 1-2.
I think we have a chance on Wednesday, don't we, with Milwaukee? I think it's supposed to be nice in Iowa City.
I think so,
70s.
yeah.
A ball and 2 strikes to Honar. Swing and a miss. He's out number 3. Third strikeout of the day for Sinnard. Hawks trying to figure this guy out. We're through an inning and a half. Scoreless between Iowa and Indiana. We're back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Brock Tibbetts, Carter Matheson, Josh Pine, they'll be due up for the Hoosiers in the bottom of the second of a scoreless game at Bart Kaufman Field. Welcome back to the broadcast booth. John Evans and John Leo. Game 2 of the series with Indiana. Hawks won yesterday 7-1. And today, off to a relatively quick start. And Marcus Morgan will attempt to hold serve. Follow up Luke Sinnard's great start for Indiana. Morgan against Tibbetts. Marcus is ready in the first pitch on its way home. Foul tip to the screen to the right.
Good 95-mile-an-hour fastball again. Kind of busted him inside and off the check swing.
Tibbetts was 0 for 2 yesterday. He did walk twice. Nice pitch from Marcus on the low and outside corner. High 80s right there. Had a little bit of break back in, I think, to the outside portion of the zone. 0-2's the count. Morgan working quickly with Moss setting up outside the pitch. This is fouled out of play.
We saw a little bit there with the game on BTN as well. You had the home plate umpire kind of hold up just a little bit. We had to wait for TV to come back.
That's right. 0-2 from Morgan. At the knees, looked good, but called a ball. And it'll be 1-2. I'd throw it again if I were Marcus. If I could pinpoint a spot, I'd throw it again.
Wow, that was a good pitch.
This one's too far low that time. Moss will backhand it. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Don't let that hurt. Here's the pitch. That's outside, ball 3. Now all of a sudden the count's full.
Yeah, he threw a beautiful 0-2 pitch that somehow the umpire missed. But now you gotta shake it off and battle back.
3-2. Here's a spinner down the first baseline. This is foul. And what should have been a relatively quick at bat is now multiple pitches long.
Certainly longer than it should have been.
Have to battle here. The 3-2 from Morgan. Line drive into the screen again. Great hang by Tibbetts to stay alive. The sophomore from New Albany, Ohio. Tall right-handed hitter. Stocky build as well.
357 on the season, so.
3-2's hit right back to Marcus. It's a spinner. He bobbles it, picks it up, throws it in time. Woo! A little bit of a wide throw there, but DeRiggi wrangled it in.
Really good job there. Is it kind of Marcus was square and readied, and then the ball had some funny spin on it, so it ended up kind of going off his chest. But then when it bounced away from him, he was able to pick it out of the air with his bare hand. Sometimes that's difficult then too, is you don't get the seams or you don't get the ball how you want it. So it made the throw a little interesting over there, but got the out 4 or 5 pitches after he probably should have.
See if we can make up for it here and cut some time, as Matheson is the next batter for Indiana. First pitch up and in for a ball. Matheson's a left-handed hitter. Didn't do a ton yesterday. Was 1 for 4 with the strikeout. Morgan's 1-0 delivery is high. Ball 2.
Yeah, another guy that's going to, he's a high strikeout guy, so you kind of just 245 hitters. Got to be careful, though, here now, 2-0.
Comes in there with a called strike on the low and outside corner. Good placement there from Morgan. Iowa's infield shifted a little bit to the pull side for Matheson. The outfield will play straight up because it'd be hard to pull anything that would require a shift with the wind. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Buried that one low and in. 2-2. Really noticed Marcus going low in the zone.
Good cutter there, busted it in. Busted it on the inside part of the plate, and to your point, down low, he's done a good job kind of commanding that whole part of the zone.
2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Got him high that time. Out number 2, third strikeout of the game for Morgan.
Well, and what you're seeing is Marcus being able to throw a variety of pitches for strikes, and we talked about that in the pregame of how do you know Marcus is on, and it's that ability to throw a couple different pitches for strikes, keep the hitter off balance, and not only that, but now he's changing levels up and down and really kind of playing into what the Indiana hitters like to see.
Starts Josh Pine with a fastball up and in. Back him off the plate a bit. He's their third baseman, was 0 for 4 yesterday. He had a couple of errors defensively as well. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch from Morgan. Chopper to the left side. Going to be a tough play. Tello grabs it, throws it, got him at first. Another 1-2-3 inning. A strikeout in the middle, and we've played 2. Still scoreless. Iowa and Indiana. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
7-8-9 due up for Iowa. Seegers, Frazier, and Moss. Feels like a crafty part of the Hawkeye lineup. You get some speed, you get some contact in there, try to set the table for the top and get another look at this pitcher.
Well, and it could be, with Seegers, if they do kind of some of the shifting that they did yesterday on Michael, could set up really well for the short game to be able to kind of push a bunt up the first base line and, use his speed and try to see how good of an athlete the pitcher is.
Seegers will be the first man up, back to his semi-natural role of leading things off. He spent a lot of the season as the leadoff hitter. This time he'll lead off the third. First pitch to him is a strike, low and in. Started with an off speed. Felt like it was an off speed, but came in there at 90. Here's another one. This one drops low at 91. 1-1 to Seegers. Iowa's gone down quietly the first 2 innings, still looking for their first base runner. 1-1. Swing and a miss. That's a good slider. That's a good sequence there by the pitcher with 2 fastballs low and then goes with the slider even lower.
Yeah, shows you a pitch in the same tunnel, but then breaks it off. And if everything looks the same to the hitter, it's going to just fall right off the bat.
1-2 is a breaking ball that Seegers offers at and fouls it off to the left side. And then he goes with a curveball, right, that has a lot of bump. You see it pop up right out of the hand and then drop down, so you can't give up on it. Here's the 1-2 to Seegers. Called, third strike. Outside corner, got Michael. He's out number 1.
And I still think for most of these hitters, that first pitch fastball that they see is the best one they're going to get. So they almost want to start to maybe ambush that. Because when he's getting ahead 0-1, then he's dangerous. But if you can stick to the plan, get one in an area you like.
Well, Frazier will swing at the first pitch. Slow roller to short. Frazier sprinting down the line. He is out at first.
Frazier tried to sell it, but it looked like he was out down there, but appreciate the effort.
Very close play down the line and force a tough play for Glasser, who had to charge that and throw it on the run.
Yeah, was able to circle it and do a nice job of coming more toward first when he made the throw.
Cade Moss at the bottom of the order. He's up. First pitch low and out, ball 1 to him. Moss, a little bit of a rough day yesterday, was 0 for 4. He'll bounce back. Here's one right down central, 1-1.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys that got introduced to the new high strike zone.
Yeah.
He had a couple breaking balls up near the top of the zone.
That's a good.
Much like that one.
Yes.
Because that is the peak of the strike zone right there.
Curveball that just slices the zone, but it crossed high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to Moss, swing and a miss. Chased it low. Another strikeout for Sinnard. He's up to 5 now, and Iowa a bit puzzled through 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Scoreless between the Hawkeyes and Hoosiers. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Already to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nothing doing for either team so far. And Marcus Morgan will come out for the bottom of the 3rd. He'll face Indiana's 7, 8, 9.
We've got a little bit of anything you can do, I can do better sort of thing going on right now.
Yeah, so now it's up to us to hold up our end of the bargain, right? Our hitters that'll have to change the tune offensively. But Marcus has looked really good so far for the Hawkeyes. He's got 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. Forced a couple of ground balls. Indiana hasn't been able to elevate much yet. Hopefully to keep that trend going, they'll send their left fielder into the box first. This is Hunter Jesse. Jesse yesterday was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. He did strike out twice. Marcus deals a pitch outside to start his at-bat. This one's low and out, 2-0 from Morgan. I think the first batter in each inning that Morgan has faced has worked a 2-0 count.
Battle back here.
A swing and a miss on the 2-0.
Ball's bouncing out of Cade's mitt a little bit, having a hard time just getting it squeezed.
Morgan's 2-1 delivery. That is below the knees. Ball 3. Neither team has a base runner yet. Indiana on the verge here with a 3-1 count unless Marcus can battle back. Out of the windup, the delivery. Tapped foul, 3-2.
You can hear the wind whistling through the on-field mic. It's blowing pretty good. The flags aren't straight out, but there's not a lot of give in them.
It's windier today than it was yesterday, I think. 3-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Battled all the way back and got him on the outside corner. Jesse is out number 1. 4 strikeouts for Morgan.
Good job there for Marcus to, fall behind but not give in, but still come back with good pitches around the zone. Be kind of important again here. Cerny's a little bit of a free swinger, so we want to attack him as well.
Cerny's their second baseman. First pitch from Morgan. Check swing. He went around. That's a strike to start off the at-bat. Cerny's a freshman from the state of Indiana. Got a lot of tall athletes on their team. Cerny's another one. He shoots this foul to the right side quickly down to the count 0-2.
I thought that when you described every pitcher that came in the game last night, it was 6'4", 210, 6'5", 220.
Right. What's in their water over here in Indiana? The 0-2 pitch just outside from Morgan. Good opportunity there to maybe swing at that one, but Cerny does a nice job to lay off.
It was a really good show pitch there as he kind of gave him the slider off the plate. Cerny didn't bite.
0-2. That one's too far off the plate. I think the last pitch from Morgan was, probably started on the outside corner if it were a fastball, but then had that slider break, so it skipped out of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Pitch from Morgan. In on the hands and foul to the on-deck circle to the left. We'll do it again.
See if Marcus can finish off the at-bat here, get a good clean run.
This one's popped up on the left side into foul territory. Wind will play with it a bit as Tello gives chase. Raiders got it near the wall for out number 2.
Wind was pushing that out of play, but there is a ton of foul territory over there, and Raider was able to take advantage of it, track it all the way down.
I think you might have had to battle the sun, too, a little bit. What do you think? It's just directly above us.
Yeah, right up top, good high sun. And, it's mostly blue sky, but when you look back over that direction, you've got kind of white clouds. It's not an easy sky to track a ball in right now, but Tello did a great job and pulled it in.
Bottom of the order with Peter Ceruto. First pitch, swing and a miss on the inside part of the plate. Morgan dealing now. Iowa defensively on the infield has Ceruto played to pull. 0-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Sam Honar is lined up behind second base. He's actually on the shortstop side of second. Seegers is a little bit closer to third than he typically is, and Raider Tello's protecting the line at third. DeRiggi's the man on the island on the right side of the infield. 0-2 pitch from Morgan. That's outside. Ball 1.
Yeah, when Marcus has tried to hit that outside corner with 0-2, it's just like he's almost pulled it, held onto it just a little bit too long and swept it outside. Just trying to be a little too fine on that outside corner.
1-2. Outside corner called third strike. Down he goes for the third out of the third. Another inning for Marcus with 2 strikeouts. He's all the way up to 5 now. We've played 3 at Bart Kaufman Field. Still scoreless between Iowa and Indiana. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Well, we're speeding through the first 3 innings of the game today in just under 40 minutes. So really zipping along, and credit both pitchers to that factor. At this point, we'll get to the top of the order now. It'll be Wilmus, Anthony, and Duriggi getting their second look at Senard.
We'll just play a 6-inning game now. That's the way this is going to work out. Yeah, both pitchers, I'm not sure, they pretty much mirroring each other. Both have 5 strikeouts. One of those was looking for swinging. 29 strikes for Marcus, 28 for Senard. Marcus has thrown 8 more pitches in total, but very, very similar stat lines. Senard's been slightly more efficient, but Hawks will take exactly what they've gotten out of Marcus so far.
No base runners for either team to this point. First pitch strike to Wilmus. He struck out in the first. You wonder when Iowa flips the switch and says, all right, we got to manufacture our own base runners with maybe a little bit of small ball. 0-1 to Wilmus. Breaking ball. That one was low. Looked good.
Ish.
Yeah. And this is a guy that can really get things going in that department, right?
And you wonder about small ball stuff too, but takes the curveball there. Senard likes to spin it, and that'll be kind of the thing, is how do the Hawkeye hitters adjust? He showed a lot of fastball, but we haven't seen any of the small ball that maybe Coach Heller talked about.
1-2 pitch is just high and outside, evening the count at 2-2. And Wilmus, again, we talked about it yesterday, frustrating hitter to attack.
He's got good plate discipline. You've seen, the 2 balls that he's taken were both extremely close.
2-2. That's low and out, ball 3. What would a leadoff walk do? It finally put some pressure on somebody in this game.
I think Senard's, I'm not 100% sure, but this might only be the second 3-ball count.
3-2 is a called third strike on the outside corner. Wilmus was ready to go to first, but he's called out on strikes. First out of the 4th.
Maybe elevated just a little, but in what's a strike zone, but maybe got fooled just a little bit, and so he decided to try to sell it, but umpire liked the strike instead.
First pitch to Anthony's waved at it, missed. Chased that one just outside. Got to stick to the process here to have the good plate discipline that the Hawkeyes have had over the past month or so. Nothing in 1 pitch to Anthony. Line drive into center. This one will get down for the first base hit of the game for either team. And it comes from the black and gold. Keaton Anthony with a blooper to center.
Well, that's the balance you're trying to strike. You talk about the plate discipline, and the Hawkeyes have done a good job running up pitch counts, and they don't tend to swing at a ton of bad pitches. But, when strike 1 is a fastball, you almost then want to attack that and go get it. And that time Anthony did. He got a little fooled, but he came back and moved the curveball out into center field.
Here's Duriggi. That first pitch is low and in for a ball, and now all the different factors that come into play. You probably don't think Anthony's going to steal, but we know that Senard's a little bit slower to home, and for him, new factor, he's pitching out of the stretch for the first time today. Comes in the 4th inning. Here's one to Duriggi, foul back, just missed it, and it's 1-1.
Let me be clear, Keaton Anthony's not going to straight steal second base.
I think that would be a pretty safe bet, John.
Keaton missed a sign if he goes to straight steal second.
A ball and a strike, pitch to Duriggi, curveball, outside corner, 1-2.
What a breaking ball there. Just, he goes hard, and then he throws that looper, and he's done a really nice job of throwing it for a strike, locating it in the zone.
Entire left side of the infield is basically vacated right now. They've shifted over to the right. DeRiggi swings over the top of a breaking ball. He is out number 2.
And then he just buried that kind of a back foot curveball there. Got it down in, and it shows really well coming through the zone, but just hard to line up and hit with over 4 feet of break coming from the guy that's 6'8".
Yeah. Huckstorf will stand in. First pitch outside to Kyle. He flied out to right his first time up in the second. Anthony is at first base with 2 outs in the 4th. Scoreless game between Iowa and Indiana. Sinnard ready. Pitch to Huckstorf. Swing and a miss. Was reaching for that one. Would have been a strike either way. He just had the speed of it timed up wrong.
Yeah, I think he must have been looking for a fastball there, and actually caught a breaking ball and just snapped right away from his bat.
1-1 pitch. Curveball. Ooh, high. 2-1.
Boy, and that's one we've seen called a strike all weekend, with kind of that big bender that catches the top part of the zone. See if Huck can take advantage now, up 2-1.
Long pause from Sinnard. He's ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. A changeup. Mid-80s. High.
A little bit of spin. Might have had not a ton of breaks. Yeah, probably.
I'd like to throw one more ball and then maybe get Keaton able to go on a full count with 2 outs pitch, but we got to get there first. The 2-2 is hit on the ground to the left side and in front of the Indiana dugout.
Yeah, we talked yesterday. There were 2 balls that went in the Iowa dugout. One that went, Coach McGrath barely moved on, and the second one that got smoked in, and we were talking about the snack bottle. I talked to trainer Jake, and he said that ball just barely missed him, and then showed me his water bottle. And it took a beating.
Really? Hit the water bottle?
Yeah, his water bottle on the back wall, and I mean, it is dented. And
I was thinking loaf of bread, maybe the jar of peanut butter.
No, but it is a good thing that trainer Jake missed it.
Count is full for Huckstorf here. Anthony will be going on the pitch.
Because who takes care of trainer Jake if trainer Jake gets hit?
Good point. Do they look at us then? I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
I'm certainly not qualified. I don't know about you.
It's like all the players would have kind of stared at each other. What
check on Anthony at first. A little bit slow getting back there, but he doesn't have much of a lead, so that's all right. He's able to touch the bag before the tag. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, so Anthony will be going. Let's see if Huckstorf can find some grass out there. The pitch. Fouled back. Good job by Huckstorf to stay alive.
A good job adding to the count here, if nothing else.
Sure.
Because Sinnard's been very, very efficient. I mean, obviously 3 up, 3 down innings, you tend to be efficient, but even in doing that, he'd been quick and clean.
3 balls, 2 strikes again. Pitch to Huckstorf. He fouled it back again.
Might have swung at ball 4 at that time.
Raider Tello's on deck. Yeah, that one was high, wasn't it?
A little bit up and out of the zone, but you know, I'd rather see that. The umpires had a little bit of an expanded zone, so make sure you go up and get a piece of it and see if you can get a better one.
There goes Anthony, the pitch, swing and a miss. Sinnard pretty fired up there. He gets another strikeout. Got 3 in the inning. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Still scoreless between Indiana and Iowa. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Iowa and Indiana in game 2 of the series. Still scoreless. Iowa did get their first hit of the day. In the top half of the inning, Keaton Anthony with a single. Indiana still looking for theirs. They'll turn things over to the top of their order with Glasser, Whalen, and Taylor coming up in the bottom of the fourth.
And so now, Kim kind of talked about the tennis match of holding serve, or whatever you want to call it, the chess match now of how do the Indiana hitters adjust now as they come through the second time of seeing Marcus, and what adjustment do they make? Does Marcus, how does he pitch sequence a little bit different to keep getting outs here and getting ahead of hitters?
Just about to get to 50 pitches. Morgan right below it. First one on its way to Glasser, way outside for a ball.
His first pitch to each batter of the inning's been fairly non-competitive for the most part, but they battled back nicely.
Here's the 1-0, outside corner. Good job there from Morgan, 1-1. Glasser struck out in the first. It's important to try to limit his impact on the game. Here's the 1-1 from Morgan. Ground ball to the right side, past a diving Honar. Indiana has their first hit. That also comes in the fourth.
Honar was shifted just a touch. A good ground ball. I mean, solid ground ball single, and it was well hit, barreled up, just rolled all the way through the infield. Honar couldn't make a diving play, and much like then we saw Sinnard out of the stretch. Now we'll see Marcus and certainly a base stealing threat in Glasser.
Yeah, a lot of things are in play now for Indiana. They can go, sack bunt for the heart of their order, Taylor and Tibbetts that are coming up after Whalen. They could try to steal. They could just play it straight up. We'll have to see what they do. Iowa trying to line up defensively in a proper manner. First pitch is tapped on the ground to the right side. Morgan will pick it up. His only play is really to go to first. He will do so and get Whalen out there. You think he had to play at second there, John? I think it would have been tough.
It would have been tough. Again, everything's kind of going away from it. You'd have to stop, plant your feet. And as much as I hate to say it, pitchers don't tend to be great throwers to bases. For you think about a pitcher, how good his location is, and we've seen it a couple times. They either try to take something off of it or they throw the fastball that goes wide, take the out. Call it a sack bunt and just get the out and get out of the mess.
Runner in scoring position now for Indiana. Taylor drives this deep to center. Huckstorf back towards the wall. He's got it at the track. He'll get it in quickly. The runner will tag from second to third. So Taylor moves the runner up there, but there will be 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, much like Iowa hit a couple balls last night, if you're going to hit it solid into this wind, that's not a good place to hit it from a hitter perspective. From a pitcher's perspective, great. That ball left the bat at 107. Any other day, it probably gets out of the ballpark. If he pulls it a little or pushes it a little, it gets out of the ballpark. But hit it to the deep part and just allowed out right now. Right. So Marcus just got to bear down and in good shape.
Brock Tibbetts, he's the batter with a runner at third, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Morgan is ready. The pitch. That's a high fastball, ball 1. Iowa's got a little bit of a shift on for Tibbetts. Honar playing closer to the bag at second. He's also starting in the outfield grass. Seeger's playing deep at short. 1-0 pitch from Morgan. That's low, ball 2. Got to get one more out.
Be important here for Moss to do a good job, blocking pitches, keep it handy and in front of him.
Tibbetts with a slightly open stance. He's in the box. The 2-0 from Morgan. Popped up right side. This one's going to get foul and out of play over the Iowa dugout and into the seats. 2-1.
I was hopeful the wind might push that and keep it in play, and all it did was keep it in the stands, but still got out of play. So good job there from Marcus. Good high fastball. Was able to kind of try to sneak that cutter almost past him a little bit, but still got a piece of it.
Glasser at third. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. The pitch is a called strike. Up and in, 2-2.
Good pitch there. Tibbetts kind of leans out over the plate just a little bit, and we saw that last weekend. You don't always get that inside strike call because the umpire gets a little fooled by it. But
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch from Morgan outside, ball 3. Tibbetts grounded out to Morgan back in the second. He's got a full count now with 2 outs. Morgan's got the sign that he likes. Feels it, deals it inside. Ball 4. Still not a ton of damage. Runners at the corners for Indiana with 2 outs. Here's Matheson, the DH.
And this is now, Tibbetts isn't really a guy that you're probably going to try to run with and try to play any sort of game where maybe you go and you stop and see if you can put some pressure on the Iowa defense that way. But with Glasser's speed at third, you could try to play a game.
First pitch from Morgan is outside to Matheson, ball 1.
If you're Marcus here, you just need an out. So you got to attack the hitter. The rest of it doesn't matter. You know, the guy jumping around at first, the guy in your vision at third, just focus on playing catch with Moss and get the out.
1-0 pitch off the plate, away from Matheson, 2-0. Zach Volker starting to stretch and get loose in the Iowa bullpen. Morgan got his work cut out for him right now. Down in the count on Matheson, 2-0, and there's 2 outs and 2 on. The pitch, outside corner. Good spot from Marcus, 2-1.
Really good fastball there. Didn't give in at all, but threw a competitive pitch, allowed the umpire to call a strike for him and get him back in this at-bat.
How about a ground ball to the right side? Get us out of here. The 2-1. That's high and out. Ball 3. It's getting dicey here. Don't want to get the bases loaded for Pine, who's on deck.
Marcus is really interesting. It's just like he's just lost that release point just a little bit.
Envision some success here, Marcus. The 3-1. That's way outside. Ball 4. All right, getting it kind of interesting now. Still scoreless in the bottom of the 4th, but the bases loaded for Indiana. 2 outs. Batter is Josh Pine. We'll have a mound visit from Coach McGrath.
Yeah, and hopefully, we saw this yesterday with Brody too, where Coach McGrath came out, had a quick chat with Brody, and it was just a little simple adjustment. And I know he talks a lot with Marcus about the mental game, the mental aspect of it, one pitch at a time, one hitter at a time, and that's really what it is now for Marcus. He can get Pine. His stuff is good enough to get him. He's just got to trust it and go get him. And whether it's that little bit of a fundamental thing that he's just kind of lost a little bit of, but it's just go attack him right now.
As the mound visit wraps up, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. All right, bases loaded for Josh Pine. 2 outs in the inning. Iowa and Indiana scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. Pine grounded out to Tello at third. The full house at Bart Kaufman getting behind to support their Hoosier third baseman. Morgan's ready for the first pitch. It's on its way home. Up and in, ball 1.
Pine showed a little bit more extra base pop last year than he has so far this year. So he's not a simple out or not a powerless out, but you're still going to want to attack here and make them beat you right now.
Morgan's pause, the pitch lifted in the air to right. Foul territory towards the Iowa bullpen, and it will get out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good pitch there from Marcus. He's had a hard time kind of locating, and he came back to the breaking ball and really fooled Pine there. Got it on the outside part of the plate.
Big pitch in the at bat right here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch from Morgan. Fouled back, 1-2. He chased that a little bit inside, I think.
Just a touch, but again, when you're showing competitive pitches around the strike zone, and especially now 1 and 2, he'll be able to kind of show a pitch on the edge of the zone. He doesn't have to come to the white of the plate here.
Cade's got to be ready. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Morgan. Here it comes. Just low and in. 2-2.
And see, that's That's a strike, but by the way Cade catches it, he kind of catches it, uses his hand and almost pulls it out of the zone a little bit because Marcus misses his spot. He was supposed to hit outside. It came inside instead.
Morgan's 2-2. Line drive right center. This one's trouble, but Frazier's over there. Braden's got it. He makes the catch, drifting over into the gap. And the Hoosiers will leave them loaded in the fourth. The Hawkeyes dodging a bullet. We'll head to the top of the fifth inning, scoreless in Bloomington. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Ah, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Top of the fifth inning, still scoreless. Each team with one hit. No runs, though, and Indiana really threatening there in the fifth before Braden Frazier made the catch out in right center. And the Hoosiers leave them loaded. See if that flips some momentum to the good guys here.
Marcus able to pitch around some free bases there, and really interesting. Just even though they felt like a high stress, high leverage situation, Marcus has just thrown 8 more pitches than Senard has, so they got a little more anxious, but it really hasn't run his pitch count too far out of whack yet.
It'll be interesting to see who Iowa rolls out in the fifth when we get there. We are in the top of the fifth, and Raider Tello leading things off. First pitch ball to him. Senard's ready out of the windup. The pitch. Tello swings and misses. 1-1. Senard through 4 innings has given up just 1 hit. He struck out 8 Iowa batters. He's got Tello in a hole 1-2.
Throws again that, and it's almost there's some sequencing to that if the Hawkeye hitters are watching too. That 1-1, he'll throw that big looping trying to get me over pitch.
Here's one on the ground to the right side. Great play by the first baseman. He'll toss it to the pitcher who's covering for out number 1.
Good job there. We talked about how good of an athlete Senard was, or maybe being able to take advantage of that, but got off the mound well, got over to first base, and did a good job picking it, and just barely beats Tello by a step.
And that's Tibbetts that gets that started with a sliding play to his right to knock it down. So Tello's out number 1. Here's Honar. Sam swings through that first pitch. Honar's trying to find his footing today. Struck out in the second. And swing and a miss again. 0-2. Having a hard time seeing this guy.
Yeah, he didn't have a great day yesterday either, and especially with this spin, he's kind of been swinging all over the place right now.
0-2. That's low and in. Almost hit him. Did it hit him?
Caught him in
Honar takes first. Yes, it got him.
Caught him in the foot, which will take the break.
On an 0-2 count to get hit by a pitch, that's a little bit of luck involved there. I didn't see a major movement by the home plate umpire to award him first. Honar just took off his protective guards and trotted down to first.
Yeah, it's a back foot curveball and just kind of caught it right there. And funny enough, the ball just sat right there, and catcher didn't even really, I thought at first the catcher picked it, but then it hit his foot and stopped.
See, Seeger's the shortstop, stand in. First pitch up and into him for a ball. Now Iowa feels like, okay, maybe we could do something with this. Honar at first. 8 for 8 on the year in stolen bases. Seeger's a good bunter for the team.
Indiana hasn't gone to. They've shifted Seegers a lot today with this weekend with the second baseman on the other side of second base, but so far he's playing a traditional position.
Seegers squares to bunt, puts it down the third base line. This is a beauty. Seegers sprinting for first. He is safe at first.
Took the first base umpire some time. He thought it over.
Beautiful bunt by Michael, and 2 on for the Hawkeyes with 1 out in the 5th.
Good play by Pine to come up and sling it across the diamond. But great hustle from Seegers, gets the bunt base hit as he took a high breaking ball and put it down nicely.
That's a tough pitch to bunt, isn't it?
It's not, yeah, big looper up high, and to get it down on the ground.
Now it's Frazier. First pitch to Braden is high, ball 1. Hawkeyes are in business in the 5th. Scoreless game, 2 on with 1 out. Second hit of the game for the Hawkeyes comes on a Michael Seegers bunt. 1-0 pitch to Frazier. That's on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
A good fastball there. Just kind of painted the outside half.
Senard looks in for the sign. He's got it. 1-1 pitch to Frazier. That's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher. Honar taking off for third. He'll slide in there. Runners at the corners now for the Hawkeyes.
Really good piece of base running there. Yesterday we talked about it. The catcher, Ceruto, does a really nice job of picking those balls. And so you got to notice the difference between a fastball in the dirt that he can just pick and that spinner that's going to go down and bounce into his chest and away. Honar with a great read there. That ball didn't get that far away from him, but he was on the move.
2 balls and a strike to Frazier. The pause, the pitch. Braden squares to bunt, missed it. And Honar has to scramble back to third. The count will be 2-2.
Hawks catch a break there as Frazier bunts through this. It wasn't a full suicide squeeze, but it wasn't a safety squeeze either as he was coming down the line. Fortunately, Pine was right down with him, and Ceruto didn't want to throw it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. They'll check on Seegers at first. He dives back safely. Now Braden, all it takes is a ground ball to the right side that is away from the second baseman a bit, a fly ball to the outfield to get home this runner that's at third. 2-2 to Frazier. Called third strike. Breaking ball inside corner. Braden's down, out number 2. It'll be up to Cade Moss to get the Hawkeyes on the board.
Yeah, kind of buckled his knees there, but really didn't have a ton of left to right movement. It was more vertical movement, just dropped it right in the top of the zone and kind of froze Frazier there, and he couldn't pull, but it was across the inside part of the plate.
And now it'll be Cade Moss. A bit of a slow series. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. He struck out in the 3rd. Can really pick his team up right here with a base hit. Runner at first is Seegers. Runner at 3rd is Honar. 2 outs in the Hawkeye 5th. Trying to get to Senard. Throw over to first base.
Watch for that ball in the dirt again.
A lot of foul territory like you've talked about too, if this gets away from the catcher at all. Senard checks the sign. He's got it. Moss is in the box and ready. First pitch to Cade. Pops it up left side. This is angling towards the line. It'll get to foul territory and bounce for a foul ball. Long way to run for that left fielder.
It's kind of Cade's sneaky happy spot over there. We saw him pull one last week right down the line where he kind of gets into it. He got a little bit more elevated on that one and kind of looped it a little bit more. And see if he can straighten it out just a touch.
Interesting observation I just made. Moss on that first pitch had an open stance. And now as he's getting ready for this next one, it's closed off and it's neutral. Not sure what the change is there for Moss and his approach. No balls and a strike to the Hawkeye catcher. It's a chance to give Iowa the lead and break the scoreless tie. Seegers takes off for second. Here's a ground ball to third. Pine will pick it up, throw it across the diamond for the third out of the inning. Hawks get a couple of base runners but cannot score. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 0-0 between Indiana and Iowa. Back with more right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Well, we've had a couple of innings now where both teams have threatened, but neither one has been able to get on the board. Iowa with 2 hits, Indiana with 1. We get to the bottom of the fifth. We'll see Marcus Morgan again for the Hawkeyes. He'll face off against 7, 8, 9, Jesse, Cerny, and Ceruto in the fifth. When he saw these guys in the third, he struck out 2 of them. Got to try to keep that going.
Big inning for Marcus, for his confidence, obviously for the team in this game, but just for his development as a pitcher and kind of to really put a stamp on this Saturday start is mine.
Yes.
And so, if he can kind of roll through this with some confidence and some clarity, it'll be a nice statement.
Well, he starts Jesse off with a first pitch strike on the outside corner. It's a good start for Marcus.
And again, Jesse's a guy, these next 2 hitters particularly, guys that he needs to go after, high strikeout, low walk guys. Make them beat you, especially with the wind blowing the way it is. Make them really try to hit one solid and find grass.
Counts 1-1. Pitch from Morgan. Too far outside, 2-1. You wonder how long Marcus will go if he runs into any type of trouble in the fifth. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it. Here's the 2-1 from Morgan. Line foul out of the stadium to the left side, 2-2.
Again, it just goes back to that simple idea, difficult thing to execute, of just a Marcus believing that his stuff is better than what Hunter Jesse can handle.
And it's been pretty darn good today. He strikes out Jesse again. We'll have to throw it down to first to officially record the out on the drop, third strike. But another K for Marcus.
Yeah, his 6th strikeout, and again, just a good pitch there as he threw the breaking ball down, buried it on the back foot, and Jesse swung over the top of it.
Marcus approaching his career high, 7 strikeouts. He's got 6 right now. Here's one off the handle of the bat. DeRiggi picks it up at first, flips to Morgan, who's covering, and that's a quick out number 2.
Kind of joked about that a little bit with the coaching staff about Brody yesterday, where it's nice to have your fielders be able to help. You don't have to strike everybody out, and for Marcus there to get a 1 pitch out, that's a big deal.
Bottom of the order with Peter Ceruto. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. We're scoreless in Bloomington in the bottom of the 5th. Just over an hour of game time. Iowa's infield playing Ceruto to pull. He squares to bunt, pulls it back as a fastball whips by at eye level. Just showing bunt there, right, John? I'd be surprised, although Tello's playing deep at third. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss.
He's going to need everybody to be playing deep for the bunt to work out. I'm guessing. I'm strictly guessing, but he and I probably have about the same opportunity to get a bunt hit.
Here's the 1-1 that's fouled over our heads. It'll be 1-2. You mean you don't have any speed, John?
I'm 10 years removed from having speed.
Well, you're a golfer, and you're not allowed to run on the golf course,
we don't
right?
need to run anymore.
1-2 from Morgan. Swing and a miss. Got him fishing for that one in the dirt. 7th strikeout of the game for Marcus. That'll match his career high. He is dealing right now. We're through 5, scoreless in Bloomington. Let's get the bats going. It'll be the top of the order. Wilmus, Anthony, and DeRiggi due up for Iowa in the 6th. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Ah, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Bart Kaufman Field in Bloomington, Indiana, on the campus of Indiana University. Game 2 of the series. We're already in the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order for the black and gold. Wilmus, Anthony, and DeRiggi trying to break the scoreless tie.
I think all those names sounded like tiebreaker guys.
Yeah.
So I think we're in good shape.
Wilmus will come in with maybe a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. Very uncharacteristic to the hitter that Wilmus is. The batter with good plate discipline usually finds a way on. Really good on-base percentage. Sinnard is back out for Indiana. First pitch to Wilmus, waved at and missed, 0-1.
Yeah, went after the breaking ball there. Can you talk about swinging at the first pitch? I'm good with. I just want to rather see the fastball you attack.
Goes in the dirt with the curveball there, 1-1. Ben doesn't go after it.
Once you show that you're going to swing at spin, you're going to see more spin.
Sure. 1-1 pitch to Wilmus. Swing and a miss again. 1-2. Ben having just a little bit of trouble seeing it. I'd like to see Wilmus get on and then cause some problems on the base paths, right? Especially with Anthony and DeRiggi due up after him. He's got his work cut out for him now. The 1-2 went after the curveball in the dirt. Missed it. They'll throw it down to first, and he is out at first. A hang by the first baseman, so a drop third strike. Wilmus is 0 for 3 today.
Good snag there by Tibbetts. For as good as Ceruto is throwing down to second base, that wasn't a great throw.
Right.
Wilmus was running kind of on the edge of the baseline and didn't give him a great target down there, but that's kind of the catcher's job to clear himself and throw it.
Mm-hmm. See Anthony up with the bases empty and 1 out. First pitch strike on the outside corner.
Ish.
So all of a sudden the zone expanding a bit.
Yeah,
man.
Sinnard's been good enough without getting an expanded strike zone.
That one's definitely a ball. At this time high, 1-1. Anthony has 1 of 2 Iowa hits today. Singled in the 4th. 1-1 pitch from Sinnard. Ooh, Anthony just missed it. He was trying to hit it over that scoreboard in left center.
Good high fastball right up a belt high, a little higher, and Anthony couldn't quite catch up with it.
Sinnard's 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. High heater, 2 down.
If you like high, here's a little bit higher, and he raised Anthony up another level, and Keaton expanded his strike zone, and that's strikeout number 10, I believe. 11 for Sinnard now.
Yeah, and there have been high strikeout games for Iowa's hitters. This is just one of those where the pitcher is really good. I don't think Iowa's doing anything necessarily wrong. Here's DeRiggi with a first pitch, low and in for a ball. Just feels like Sinnard is on today and It's a good matchup in a pitcher's duel. 1-0 pitch to DeRiggi. Line. Fair ball into the corner and right. Get going, Brennan. He rounds first, headed for second. Here comes the throw. DeRiggi will dive head first. It's a 2-out double for the Hawkeye first baseman.
The funny part of that one was that exit velo was only 93. Brennan's been kind of the king of 100 plus, even on simple things, and that one was just beautifully placed right inside the base and baseline and past the diving Tibbetts. And the Hawks get another chance with runners in scoring position.
How about some 2-out magic? Top of the 6th, we're scoreless. Third hit of the game for Iowa. Here's Huckstorf swinging at the first pitch. High fly ball to right. This will get out of play. And out of the stadium, 0-1. DeRiggi really turned those hips, got out in front of it, and pulled it hard down the line into the corner. I wish there was more foul territory down there like they've got over and left. No balls and a strike. Pitch to Huckstorf. That's high at eye level, 1-1.
Saw the same thing, same sequencing there. He gave Huckstorf the high fastball to start the at-bat. Huckstorf swung at it, so he raised it up a little bit higher, and Huckstorf held off that one.
Here's the 1-1 to Huck. Breaking ball inside, almost hit him, and it's 2-1.
Ball just missed.
Kyle does that thing where he crowds the plate, right, and he gets that elbow out there a little bit. Senard set with the 2-1, the pitch. That's way up and in. Huckstorf has to turn away from it. Raider Tello's on deck with a 3-1 count. Right now to Huckstorf. Trade places with DeRiggi out there. How about that? Find a gap.
Feels like a big spot here. Chance to do some damage to Senard. Haven't really shown a ton of.
3-1, swing and a miss. Goes with a changeup in a 3-1 spot. It's going to be a strike. Huckstorf was early.
Wow, and that's he kind of went cross count there, and up to Huck now to be on his toes and ready to go.
Crowd supporting the pitcher for Indiana. The 3-2 called, third strike. That's a low strike at the knees. Huckstorf is out number 3. All right, so Iowa gets a base hit, a double, but they'll leave him out there at second base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. We're still scoreless. This is Hawkeye baseball from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
All right, we've reached the bottom of the 6th inning. Scoreless game between Indiana and Iowa. We'll see a new Iowa Hawkeye pitcher into the game. We'll go with right-hander Zach Volker, 6'2", redshirt sophomore from Granite Bay, California.
3-0 on the season. This is appearance number 8 out of the bullpen. 4.45 ERA. He does have a save. 28 1/3 innings, 24 hits, 14 runs that have all been earned, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just .235 against Zach, so good for him. You know, he's might have one of the biggest mix of pitches for Hawkeye pitchers. You know, a little bit of everything, kind of that traditional starter, and even though the Hawkeyes haven't used him that way, he's been very good out of the bullpen, and up to him now to. Yeah, I guess we're changing servers in our tennis match.
Yeah, how tough of a decision do you think that was to bring Marcus out of the game? They'll be facing the top of the order. I think that was probably the biggest part. You know, if Marcus had been coming back out to face 6, 7, 8 again, okay, let's give the ball to Marcus again, especially at 79 pitches. But as you come through now and you're thinking, okay, the guys have seen him the 3rd time. He's been a little bit wilder, still been very good, but you know you're making the decision, and
Zach's a guy that you can get, you can get 4 innings out of also. So you go ahead and make the change and hopefully, well, not hopefully, you start him with a clean inning and let him do the work.
So it'll be Volker versus Glasser to start the bottom of the 6th. First pitch strike from Zach on the outside corner. Glasser has Indiana's only hit today. Singled in the 4th. Volker delivers out of the windup, the 0-1. That's inside for a ball. Ready with the 1-1. Here it comes on its way home. Fouled back, 1-2. A lot of off-speed to start from Zach.
Hey, gave him kind of the show fastball inside, but then has thrown a couple other breaking balls, and actually both of those have been the strikes. So now he's got the whole palette open here now.
The 1-2, low and in, 2-2. That looked good, but I don't think it's where Moss had set up. So kind of like that point you talked about earlier, where it misses the spot, doesn't necessarily miss the zone. That kind of fools some people. 2-2 pitch from Volker. Up and in, ball 3.
All right, buckle up here and get your leadoff hitter.
Big spot, bottom 6. The 3-2, ground ball foul.
Good crowd here today. We've got some good folks there down on the hill by just beyond the right field bullpen. And
big time baseball school, huh?
Historically.
Here's the 3-2 from Volker. Called third strike. Got him on the outside corner. Froze him with a backdoor slider.
Really good pitch again there. Hadn't really shown that one. Up and out. Broke it in out over the edge of the plate. Big first out. Big battle back there to kind of just, not let them play small ball, bunt anybody around, just get the out.
Well, and if you walk the leadoff guy, then everybody starts to think, well, yep, see, you should have left Morgan in, right? You know what I mean? So he's got to stick with the plan here. The batter's Bobby Whalen. First pitch swinging and missing. Nothing in one. You go back to Morgan, threw 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 7. Forced a lot of ground balls, too, so that was really good for Marcus. The 0-1 is outside from Volker, evening the count at 1. But, the way the season has gone for Morgan, he's had, 4 really good innings, and then the 5th one, his last one, is a bit shaky. 3 really good innings, and then the 4th one just kind of gets left in too long, maybe. Something along those lines. So we didn't get to that point today. I think that's a win, any way you shake it.
Well, exactly. And sometimes Marcus, that for the first couple starts, it was weirdly the 3rd inning. He'd throw a good 1-2, have a tough 3rd one, come back out, throw a good 4th.
2-1 pitch is inside. Volker missing.
Ball ricochets back off the backstop. Home plate umpire gives no ground, rolls right back between his legs. Moss fields it nicely. Now we battled back and got the leadoff hitter. You don't want to mess around here and lose Whalen either, another high strikeout guy.
This one's high and out, ball 4. We got the first strike and then threw 4 straight balls. Take a ground ball now, but Devin Taylor's a dangerous hitter for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, again, Taylor leads the team in home runs, slugging percentage, big spot here.
He crushed that ball to center his last time up in the 4th, and Huckstorf tracked it down. Got to keep the ball low, you'd imagine. Volker out of the stretch, the pitch. Slider low and in. Zach struggling to find the zone right now. Time will be called. Cade Moss will go out and talk to him.
The old slow catcher stroll.
Yeah, just now getting out there. 5 straight balls from Volker. Looks like he's working quickly. Maybe needs to take a deep breath to just focus a little bit longer.
Yeah, they've generally been, kind of non-competitive. There hasn't really been any temptation in any of those pitches either. So they'll need to focus in. Whalen just has 2 stolen bases, so not a huge threat down there.
A ball and no strikes to Taylor, the 3-hitter for Indiana. Volker's ready, the pitch. This one's fouled over our heads, 1-1.
Which is a little surprising for your center fielder, especially a guy that seems to run really well out in the outfield, that, kind of a small lead. He's taking a little bit of kind of a vault lead over there at first base even, but.
Here's the 1-1, outside corner 1-2. Good job from Volker there. You wonder for Whalen on the stolen base numbers if he doesn't have too many opportunities, because usually Glasser's on right in front of him.
There's probably a lot of that go on too.
A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out in the 6th. Volker is set, the pitch. Ground ball to second. Honar's got it. Flip to second for 1. On to first for 2. Double play. 4-6-3. Got him.
That was very nicely done. Not an easy ball to turn there. Honar got it, made a good flip. Seegers came across and gunned it in time.
We'll head to the 7th, scoreless in Bloomington. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy 1 free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue, and awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Well, we've officially reached the late innings now, to the top of the 7th. Still no score between Iowa and Indiana this Saturday afternoon. Indiana, they'll go with a new pitcher now. They'll send out Ryan Kraft. He's a lefty, 6'4", 220 from Mokena, Illinois.
He's 2-1 on the season. This is appearance number 13 out of the bullpen, a 1.04 ERA. He has 5 saves, and he's kind of a multi-inning save guy. 26 innings, 18 hits, 7 runs, but only 3 of those are earned. 10 walks, 23 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 189 against him. And in the Big Ten, even better. Hasn't allowed an earned run yet. He's 1-0. 2 appearances, 9 1/3 innings, giving up just 5 hits. Has walked 5 guys in the Big Ten. So if you're looking for a window, maybe that's how the middle of this Hawkeye lineup gets started.
It'll be Tello, Honar, and Seegers in the 7th. If any of them get on, we'll see Braden Frazier and hopefully Cade Moss. So Indiana goes with a totally different look. Especially in comparison to Iowa. Iowa went righty-righty from Morgan to Volker. Indiana goes Senard
and Kraft
to Kraft, righty to lefty.
And Kraft is going to be kind of upper 80s with the fastball. But again, a good big pitch mix. It'll be just, can he locate that fastball?
Batter's Raider Tello fouls back the pitch. It's 1-1. I think it probably goes without saying, but Iowa's glad to see a new pitcher, even though this guy's pretty good. 1-1 to Tello's outside for a ball, 2-1. Senard, you just got to tip your cap. What did he get? 11, 12 strikeouts?
12.
Yeah, he's up to 12, and just a really good pitcher. Going to have to remember his name the rest of the conference play. 2-1 pitch to Tello, slapped foul to the right side. So even though he has good statistics, maybe it's good to see somebody else.
Yeah, and I would assume that Indiana probably felt the same way with Marcus leaving. And
2-2 to Tello, swing and a miss. Breaking ball was low. Raiders out, number 1.
And unfortunately, what you see there is if you work from ahead, you're still going to be in a good position of power. And so, it's going to be really important for the Hawkeye hitters to either be able to jump on that first pitch fastball as a strike and do something with it, ambush it a little bit, or try to work the count in their favor.
Hawkeye second baseman Sam Honar's the batter. Squared to bunt, pulled it back, and the pitch drifted low. That'll bring in the third baseman Pine. In front of the bag, he's on the grass. 1-0 pitch to Honar. That's outside, ball 2. Sam, a pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching.
Does a nice job. Funny enough, you saw that with Ceruto, too, a little bit like we talked about with Cade Moss. Kind of caught that backhanded. Probably was a strike if he's able to frame it up, but now all of a sudden it's 3-0 in the count because he couldn't get his glove on the outside to frame that in.
Feels like this is the first 3-0 count of the day. Just haven't had too many non-competitive at-bats, and the 3-0 is inside for a ball. Ball 4, so Honar is on.
How about Honar with 2 diametrically opposite at-bats? 0-2, he gets hit in the foot.
Yeah.
And then he gets walked on 4 pitches.
He's been on a couple of times today, and it'll bring up Seegers again in a similar spot as we saw in the 5th when Iowa threatened the last time. In the 5th, Tello got out to start it, and then Honar was hit by the pitch. Then Seegers laid down that bunt for a single. Got a couple of runners on for the Hawkeyes in the 5th, but then a strikeout and a ground out ended the threat. See what Michael can do this time around. Top of the 7th, we're scoreless. 4 hits total, 3 for Iowa. Honar with a great lead at first. Quick pickoff move. He is safe at first. That was close. Oh, my.
I had him punched out.
Must have got that left hand on the backside of the base. That was a great move from Kraft over there. Pitch to Seegers. Slapped foul over Braden Frazier's head in the on-deck circle.
Well, he has a very aggressive lead, and instead of kind of going into the motion and stepping it over there, Kraft actually stepped off and snapped through it, and it was really on target. And Honar has a very big, very aggressive lead. Did it again.
Did it again and got him this time. Picked off at first. It's a great move.
Well,
2 down.
After you've seen the move the first time, I don't know why you wander back out there and know that, because he's got a one-way lead. I get that part, but the problem is Kraft isn't showing you the move to come back. He's just snapping it over.
So now Seegers probably changes his approach. Count is 1-1 with the bases now empty and 2 outs. 1-1 to Seegers behind the fastball 1-2. That was the same lead for Honar over there at first. And it was close. You had said almost thought he was out the first time. Still stayed aggressive and paid for it a bit there. The 1-2 to Seegers, swing and a miss. So, got a base runner, and what we thought was going to be an eventful inning turns out to be nothing doing for Iowa in the top of the 7th. We'll stretch things out. We'll be back for the bottom half of the inning right after this. 0-0's our score. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Don't let life get in the way of what's most important. Visit shelterinsurance.com to learn more. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Good part of the order due up for Indiana in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Tibbetts, Matheson, and Pine. 4, 5, and 6 to go against Zach Volker. Already in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody's touched home yet.
So we've had, each team's had one guy touch third base?
Right. So some threatening, but not a ton.
Yeah, Hawks got him there with 1 out. Indiana got him there with 2, but
Volker did a nice job. He forced a double play to end the 6th inning last time we saw him. Continue to hold serve now with Tibbetts, Matheson, and Pine. Volker's ready for the first pitch to Tibbetts. It's on its way home. Called strike on the outside corner. Good start for Volk. Indiana with just 1 hit today, and it was Philip Glasser back in the 4th. No balls and a strike. Here's the delivery. Popped up right side. This will get out of play. Into the concourse. 0-2.
I think you go back. Middle game of the series last year, Iowa won 12-0. It was 2-1 in the final game of the series.
This is a little bit more like that 2-1 game than it is the 30-16 or the 12-0, right?
Well, and I was just thinking that last night was 7-1. The Iowa pitching staff's done a nice job the last 3 games. Actually 3.5, because almost all those 16 runs came in the first half of that game.
1-2 from Volker, swing and a miss. Zach with another strikeout, his second of his outing. And that's a good start to the 7th.
Yeah, good. Commanded the at-bat from the very beginning there. Just got ahead. Got ahead, stayed ahead, and really never gave in at all.
See their 5-hitter now in Matheson. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the 2nd. He did walk in the 4th. Made things interesting for IU then. First pitch from Volk. Nice slider. Backdoor, breaks in. Called strike at the knees.
I think he hit the double off Henderson last night in the 9th, I think, when he looped one into right field, and just a good hustle double.
Check swing on the 0-1, just off the plate outside. Looked good, but called a ball. And it's 1-1. Yeah, you're right. He did have that double in the 9th. So he's got some power. Here's the 1-1 from Zach. Shot into left. Wilmus will look up into the sky. He's got it for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, Wilmus broke back a little bit and realized it didn't have quite that much zip on it. Came back in, reeled it in.
That's the first elevated ball that Indiana's had since the 4th inning. Everything else has been ground balls or strikeouts. Could probably say something similar for Iowa. You know, they had the double from DeRiggi, but that was more of a line drive. Both teams' pitching staffs are doing a great job today. First pitch to Pine is fouled to the seats over to the right above the Iowa dugout. 0-1.
4 flyouts for Iowa, but I know they count the line drive to the shortstop as a fly ball. 3 for Indiana.
Outside corner, 0-2. That one just floated in there. A slow pitch from Volker, and he's looking at another strikeout possibility here. 0-2 with 2 outs. Bases empty. Volker rocks and delivers. Line drive right center. Huckstorf will move over towards right. He's got it on the run. 3 up, 3 down for Indiana in the 7th. Somebody's got to score in this one. We'll see if it's the Hawkeyes coming up right after this. To the 8th we go. We're still scoreless. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Top of the 8th inning, 0-0. No score between Iowa and Indiana. We'll see Braden Frazier, Cade Moss, and Ben Wilmus due up for the Hawkeyes in this inning, trying to win the series over Indiana. The Hoosiers have won 5 straight series against Iowa here in Bloomington. So the Hawkeyes trying to snap that streak. They can do so today or tomorrow. You can lock it up today with a win over the Hoosiers. You can take at least 2.
Actually,
that's a series win.
I think I saw they're 3-1-1 in the last 5 series. Iowa won last year, but that had broke a streak where Indiana had the better of them as that pitch misses outside.
We'll see Frazier up, and you just think, boy, what a opportunity to maybe get the leadoff man on today. He's worked a 2-0 count. Iowa has not had the leadoff hitter get on base this afternoon. 2-0 pitch to Frazier. Thought about swinging at it. Instead took it for a strike. Indiana,
once.
Yeah, in the 4th, had a leadoff single, and that's been it.
Leadoff man's 1 for 14 today.
2-1 to Frazier. That's another strike. High and out, 2-2. Both pitching staffs are hitting the corners today. It's just the fact of the matter. Here's the 2-2 to Frazier. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, they said he did.
Yeah, the umpire has been really pretty good for the most part. Hasn't been over the top or hasn't had a wildly exaggerated strike zone, but he's called out to the edges, and so hitters have kind of had to adjust to that a little bit, and kind of knew that if that really did a good job for Sinnard, as that one misses wide, that he would benefit from that a ton. But Marcus really did too, did a good job with it, and was able to keep moving balls past, and now Kraft and Volker have benefited as well.
Kraft has struggled early in the bats against these Hawkeye hitters in this inning. 2-0 counts to both Frazier and Moss. Now he battled back to get Frazier. He's got a 3-0 to Moss now. Indiana's made a change in their outfield. They've put Colopy to right, taken Jesse out of the game and left, and moved Taylor over there. 3 balls, no strikes to Moss. I think you got to take at least 1. He'll take that one, and it's a good thing he did because it's a ball.
Yeah, only one he needs to take. 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring a pinch hitter up. It's Coy Sarsfield to come out for Ben.
And so we talked about it off the air in pregame. The Hawkeyes don't have a ton of depth on their bench right now due to a few injuries. Sarsfield was one of the names that we had talked about. So Wilmus will come out in the 8th. Chance for Sarsfield, the Hawkeye reserve, to come in and see what he can do. Coy has appeared in 7 games. He's 0 for 6 on the season, but he's scored a couple of runs. He's walked once and been hit by a pitch. He'll see the first pitch go by for a strike at the knees.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be bunting, because I think if you're going to bunt him, you're going to leave Ben in the game. So you're hoping that he's going to do something a little extra here.
Keep checking on Moss at first base. Indiana's not sold that he's not going to bunt, but I agree with you, John. You have Wilmus do it. Ben is 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts, so seeing a different look here with Sarsfield in the 8th. 0-1 pitch to him. Lines it hard, foul out of the stadium. He's down in the count 0-2. We'll have Keaton Anthony on deck. Scoreless game in the top of the 8th.
You know, Ben didn't have a hit yesterday either. Hadn't hit a ball hard down to third base that was an error, but just maybe give him a break, and obviously he's done a really nice job. So you get him just bounce back tomorrow now and be good to go. But see if Sarsfield can pick him up here.
No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Moss is at first. The pause, the pitch. That's outside, ball 1.
And Kraft has done a better job. You know, you had mentioned it, had fallen behind the first 2 Hawkeye hitters of this inning, and ended up just walking Moss on 4 pitches, but really done a nice job here with Sarsfield getting ahead right away.
Another check on the runner at first. Sarsfield, a 5'8" redshirt freshman from Marion. Went to high school at Linn-Mar.
We talked about this yesterday, too. Indiana picks more than almost any team will play all season.
Keep going over there, too.
Because Cade has no lead. It's a one-way lead. As soon as his foot comes up, he's going back to the bag. But they keep throwing over there. And unlike Honar, where I understand why you were trying to pick him off, Cade's not really showing anything of the sort.
And not showing it, not probably even thinking about it. It's an interesting thing to watch. 2-2 is the count to Sarsfield.
Sometimes with the pitch clock now, sometimes the throw over is just because you're not ready to pitch. You don't have your...
Sure. 2-2. Sarsfield pops it up down the right field line. This will get into the Hawkeye bullpen.
You don't have your pitch ready to go, so it's easier just to throw it over to first base and give yourself a little bit longer to think about it and get organized so that you don't make a mistake that way.
Kraft is ready, and we'll have to wait again as he throws it over to first.
As soon as he thought about moving, Moss was going back to first base. So.
I mean, we're to the point where Cade's not even diving.
Cade hasn't dove for 5 pickoff moves yet now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, pitch to Sarsfield. Ground ball to the right side, through into right field. The first base hit for Coy Sarsfield. How about that?
Pretty darn good time to get your first hit as a Hawkeye right there as he rolled it through the infield. Took advantage of the first baseman holding the runner on. Problem was the right fielder out there was so shallow, there's really no chance for Moss to take an extra base, but not a bad guy to have 2 runners on for in Keaton Anthony.
Hawkeyes are in business with runners at first and second and 1 out. Top of the 8th. Again, Anthony trying to break the scoreless tie.
And again, they're playing Keaton to pull. Love to see him go the opposite way. Even the outfield has him shaded over to pull. If he hits it at that Indiana tarp in right center field, Hawks are going to take the lead and might take it by 2.
Do they have the right scouting report on Anthony? The 0-1 pitch. Inside, did it hit him? No, he turned away. It's 1-1.
Almost clipped the jersey there.
Anthony today is 1 for 3, singled in the 4th. 1-1 pitch to Keaton. Drives it to right. This will hook foul. 1-2. Good catch by a fan out there on the hill next to the foul pole. Now Keaton's down in the count 1-2. Got to find a way to put this in play.
You certainly want to at least advance the runners, eliminate a force out and do all kinds of things to give Derigi a chance.
The 1-2, ground ball right to the first baseman. He'll throw to second for 1. There's no play anywhere else as the first baseman was not able to cover the bag. The pitcher wasn't there in time. Keaton moves Moss to third, and he'll stand at first now. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Brennan Derigi.
You say not able to play, but they practice that all the time. I'm not sure why once Tibbetts threw it, he didn't make a move to cover first base. Kraft was never going to get over there, the left-hander falling off the mound the other way. That's Tibbetts all day long, and probably had a pretty decent chance to get Anthony at first if everybody's there.
Yeah, he just never went back there, did he?
Never even really made a break to go back there.
Have a mound visit for Indiana right now. No score in the top of the 8th. Hawkeyes have 2 runners on, though. With 2 outs, it'll be up to Brennan Derigi. Before Derigi steps in, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Well, Derigi had a slow start to the game with a couple of strikeouts, but he doubled in the 6th. And a double would awfully be nice for Iowa right here.
Yeah, that nobody's warming up in the bullpen. Kraft is a long guy. There was no, never really any. We're going to change him here. It's just how are they going to attack the lefty on lefty matchup? And Coach Heller at the end of the huddle decided he'd pull all of his guys in. So now we've got everybody over here, and big spot for the 5th year here, and chance to give the Hawkeyes the lead again as another guy ventures over to third base.
The seasoned vet, the old man of the team. He's got a chance to give Iowa the lead in the 8th. First pitch to DeRiggi. Fouls it back.
Attacked him right away with the fastball, got it in on his hands.
Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Lefty on lefty matchup. Kraft is ready, the 0-1, up and in. DeRiggi will turn away from it, 1-1.
You know, with Tibbetts having to hold on to Anthony at first base, you've got a hole for DeRiggi to hit through over there. I mean, basically, you've got your second baseman in Cerny that's got to cover that whole side.
Yeah. 1-1. Breaking ball, called strike, 1-2.
Outstanding pitch there. He's able to snap off that breaking ball right across the middle of the plate, but DeRiggi wasn't looking for that one and got it past him.
Kraft comes set with the 1-2. It's on its way to DeRiggi. Ground ball to the right side. Cerny will grab it. He'll throw it to first for the 3rd out. Hawks again get a couple of runners on, but cannot score to the bottom of the 8th, or still scoreless. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Bottom of the 8th inning, no score between Indiana and Iowa. Hawkeyes with 4 hits today. Indiana with just 1. But despite that lead in the hit category, nothing doing for the Hawkeyes offensively. They're close, but now we got to wait a little bit and hold Indiana at nothing here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Volker to take on 7, 8, 9. This will be Colopy, Cerny, and Ceruto.
So Frazier switches over to left. You got Sarsfield stays in the game. He'll be in right field now. Colopy's going to come up for his first at bat.
Yep, as you mentioned, Sarsfield in at right, just collected his first career hit. Volker and Colopy. First pitch strike from Zach on the outside corner. 0-1 is the count. Zach's pitch on the way. Popped up right center. Sarsfield and Huckstorf will come together. It'll be Huckstorf on the run to call him off for the first out of the inning. Good start for Volker.
Huck went a long way for that. The ball just kind of hung up in the air. And again, you've got a pretty heavy breeze blowing in again. Flags are almost tied up out there now, so they don't look like they're not. They don't look like they're blowing as hard, but it's because they're wrapped around the pole at this point.
We're glad to be inside without having to have a window open or anything, aren't we, John?
100%.
All right, we'll see Cerny now. First pitch from Volker's up and in. Good thing that had break on it, otherwise that was going straight for the batting helmet. There's another pop-up. This one could be a little bit of trouble to shallow center. Honar is camped underneath it. He's got it 2 down.
I love the way you're selling the trouble on that one.
Well, you know, the wind. You never know, John, with the wind.
The hardest part was going to be if Honar tripped over that new shoelace he had that Nick had to go get for him at Sporting Goods store this morning.
I was afraid it had a little bit more carry than it really had. You should have seen it, Bradley. I got to admit, I had a couple of problems with my perception of a few baseballs carried out to the outfield.
We've talked about that in a couple games, how depending on where you sit, it's really interesting to try to pick out how far a ball's going.
And at Bradley, we were higher up, so I really not quite used to that in the college setting. Volker, however, he's used to putting these Hoosiers down. He's got an 0-2 count on Ceruto. Finish the deal right here, Zach. The windup, the pitch. Check swing, got a piece of it and fouled it off.
Yeah, probably swung at ball one, but he didn't mean to, but he tried to stop, and Volker's pitch busted him inside. Got enough break to catch the edge of the bat.
The 0-2, chopper foul to the left side.
Hawks have the big shift on here again. Honar at the last minute or last second there kind of shifted back to the other side, but right now he's on the shortstop side of second base.
Not sure what is taking so long here. And this is a little bit of a delay. Break Volker's rhythm. Here's the 0-2 on its way home. That's in the dirt. It's through to the backstop, 1-2. All right, there was the chase pitch. Let's bring it back in now.
Well, and you see that sometimes. You can't see it quite as much now with the pitch clock, but you will see kind of step out, do some different things.
Yeah. 1-2 from Volker. Here's another ball to the outfield. Sarsfield in right. He's underneath it. He'll reach up. He's got it. 1-2-3 inning. 3 up, 3 down for Indiana. We've played 8 still. Nothing doing for either team. We're scoreless going to the 9th. It's do or die now. And it'll be Huckstorf, Tello, and Honar coming to the plate for Iowa in the 9th. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Well, if you're a fan of really good pitching, this is the game for you. No score as we get to the 9th. Huckstorf, Tello, and Honar come to the plate for the Hawkeyes, trying to break the tie. The way I've kind of thought about this in my head, this has been more of a, hey, great pitching than bad offense today. I don't think there's any question about it.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes, you look and you think, gosh, Iowa struck out 15 times, but they haven't been bad at bats. I know that sounds odd when you frame it up in the context of a strikeout, but fouls that one back. But the pitching's just been good. Pitchers have located well. They haven't made too many mistakes for both sides. They've done a good job of finding the edge of the plate, getting ahead early for the most part.
The one thing Iowa has not done today is get the leadoff hitter in an inning on base.
No, they've been able to scrape together a couple rallies, but they've done it all later in the inning.
1-1 pitch to Huckstorf, ground ball to short. Glasser's got it. He'll hurry the throw over to first, 1 down.
Yeah, 0 for 9 now with the leadoff hitters for the Hawkeyes. So just a tough go there for whoever walks up to the plate first, and that's not a normal thing, but when you look at it and realize that you're 4 for 27 on the game anyway, how many hits can the leadoff guy have?
That's right.
And Indiana pitchers haven't walked a guy, so you start talking about free bases or lack thereof. Actually, they have walked a guy now. Kraft has, but Sinnard didn't. So, they've still been sharp, limited free bases, and all of that fun stuff.
Raider Tello's the batter, and he's quickly worked a 2-0 count. Raider is 0 for 3 today. Still has a .325 average, on-base percentage of .403. 2 balls, no strikes to the Hawkeye third baseman. The pitch, ground ball again to short. Glasser welcomes it in, throw across, 2 down. Well, it started with 2, huh?
Might as well. Pretty good guy to do it here in Honar.
Honar's been on the last couple of times. Hit by a pitch in the 5th, was walked in the 7th, but remember he got picked off first base in the 7th.
Well, how do you atone for that?
Let's see, Sam. Well, swinging at the first pitch and fouling it back. Indiana will have the top of their order coming to the plate in the 9th. No balls and a strike. Pitch to Honar. Ground ball to the right side. The second baseman will go into shallow right to pick it up. Throw to first. He's in time, a 1-2-3 inning. All right, so we'll have to hold Indiana. They'll try to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. No score in Bloomington. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy 1 free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Well, bottom of the 9th. Indiana will come to the plate with 1, 2, 3. Glasser, Whalen, and Taylor. And they can walk it off with a run. We're scoreless. Zach Volker will be tasked with not allowing that to happen.
He's a good man for the job.
Glasser today 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He has Indiana's only hit. First pitch from Volker. Popped up, shallow center. Huckstorf coming forward along with Sarsfield. Who's going to call it? They come together and they dropped it. Huckstorf will pick it up, and there will be a runner at second for Indiana with nobody out. Not sure who made contact with it. Nobody called it off. They didn't run into each other, but they came together and the ball dropped. And that right there hurts.
Well, and that's when, you've got an inexperienced right fielder now. You really want to see Huck.
It's got to be Huck.
Loudly proclaim, "This is mine. Get the heck out of the way." And maybe that happened, and obviously we've got no chance to hear that. But boy, you got exactly what you wanted. Now you got to look bunt here and go back and get the outs. Just take it one out at a time.
Here's Whalen. First pitch to him. He squares to bunt, puts it right back to Volker. No runner from second to third. The throw to first is in time. They were unable to get the runner from second to third.
That was a terrible bunt. Bunted it right back to Volker with pace. Zach did a great job, bounced off the mound. It was one of those where Glasser just couldn't take the chance, and maybe you do because it's the 9th inning. Make Iowa make a play where you've got a tag, but really smart base running on his part. He's still in scoring position. He's still going to score on a single, but a great play there from Volker. Hawks will go ahead and intentionally walk Taylor now.
Yep, moving Taylor to first.
Sets up the double play.
Yep, double play comes back. You bring in Brock Tibbetts. Again, that doesn't really matter over there at first. It helps Iowa.
Right. If Taylor scores, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Taylor can't score. So you go ahead and you make the play here and see if you can get 2 on a 6-4-3 double play.
Volker versus Tibbetts. First pitch, ground ball to DeRiggi. He'll throw it to second for 1. On to first. Double play.
Got him!
Got him! 3-6-3 double play, and we're headed to extras. How about those Hawkeyes?
Wow. Absolute wow. That's exactly the play that didn't get made by Indiana. Didn't hurt them, but great play from DeRiggi as he goes and gets it and then hustles to the bag, gets the out. What a turn.
Fire us up, Hawkeyes. We're headed to the 10th. Still no score. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
What a way to end the 9th inning and send us to extras. A 3-6-3 double play. How often do you see that?
Unbelievable turn there. DeRiggi stayed right down on it. Wynn got it as the guy went the opposite way, hit a little spinner at him, threw it, hustled to the bag. Throw kind of had him off the bag a little bit, but he's able to find his footing, get the bag, and get the call from the umpire.
7, 8, 9, Seegers, Frazier, Moss. Find a way on, guys. This is a big contact portion of the order. Contact and speed. Chip away. Do your 1/9, right?
Well, all those people you just said sound like runs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sound like runs.
Got to have the momentum after a play like that, right? First pitch to Seegers. Squared to bunt, and it's a strike.
Yeah, they did end up giving that the play out in right center field an error. I kind of wondered if that might be the case.
0-1 to Seegers. He was on it, but he fouled it back 0-2.
Put the error on Huckstorf.
Yeah, saw that. He must have been the one that come in contact with it out there. Thankfully didn't hurt anything. 0-2 pitch to Seegers. Outside, ball 1. Fans are upset, but that one was way outside. The catcher brought it back in to make it close, but this umpire not fooled.
Ball misses by 6 inches outside. Indiana wants a call after that play at first base.
1-2 to Seegers, up and in, ball 2. How about a walk? Let's find a way on, Michael.
Take one off the elbow pad, Michael.
Seegers trying to get his confidence back a little bit.
Had a good day yesterday.
Yep. It's on his way. Here's the 2-2. Line drive foul. Good hang. Sends it over to the right side.
Nice duck by the BTN cameraman there as Michael flared it over his head.
That camera's got nowhere to go, right?
Yeah, he's stuck.
The operator can move, but...
He stayed in his post, though, for the most part.
2-2, inside, corner, called third strike.
Yeah, that's all day long, unfortunately.
Indiana today struck out the Hawkeyes 16 times. It's credit to their pitching staff. They're all they're cracked up to be. Here's Frazier. First pitch, drives it to left. It's down for a base hit, and Braden is on. First pitch swinging.
We can't get the first guy on base, but we've done a decent job of getting the second guy on base.
That makes things interesting, for Cade Moss, because ground balls, double trouble, a bunt. Well, getting a runner in scoring position with 2 outs is interesting, and you get Coy Sarsfield in the top of the order on deck. Find a way for Cade Moss. Frazier with a short lead at first. They'll check on him anyway.
Well, yeah, it was Moss that they kept trying to pick off before.
Yeah. Just really no point to have a major lead, is there? First pitch to Moss is outside for a ball.
At this point, not really. I mean, obviously you always want to get a good jump, all of those types of things. But in this case, it'd be more of just go ahead and take a short first lead and then take a good secondary lead after you're assured he's going to the plate.
1-0 to Moss is a curveball from Kraft, called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
No need to overcommit yourself, and it's kind of the exact opposite approach of what got Honar picked off of really big one-way lead. There's just no need in the one-way.
Moss will bunt this down the first base side, but foul.
Probably caught a break there as he bunted that one awfully hard, and Tibbetts was probably going to be able to just easily pop off the bag and grab that, and then would have his choice of things to do.
Too much to ask for Indiana to make a mistake defensively. Made a few of them yesterday, haven't today. The 1-2, well, we'll wait for it. They'll throw it over to first.
Yeah, we really haven't done, though, and that's if you want the real big downside of striking out is that you're not putting any pressure on the defense.
At all.
So you're not, whether it's base runners or any of that.
1-2, line drive into the corner, fair ball! Into the left field corner. Braden's rounding second, heading for third. Coach Heller's gonna send him. Come on, Braden. Here comes the throw. He is out. Got him at home. Coach Heller cannot believe it. He's arguing with the home plate umpire. Looked like a great slide from Braden Frazier. They called him out at home.
I think what he's arguing about is Braden's talking to the catcher too. I thought he was out. The only thing I think, there's the rule about blocking the plate, and that might be the only piece of it that you might win the argument on.
That tag came in hip level.
I'd have sent him too.
For sure.
I had the full windmill going up here in the booth as well.
So it's a double for Moss, but Frazier's out at home. 2 outs in the inning, still no score in the 10th. The batter's Coy Sarsfield, first pitch, check swing, he went around. Moss is at second. No balls in the strike, pitch to Sarsfield, he took it down central, strike 2. What a game this has been. High-level baseball on both sides this afternoon. Count is 0-2 to Sarsfield with 2 outs. The pitch, that's high, ball 1.
You were asking for the defensive mistake, and instead you got a web gem as the good play from the left fielder who had switched sides. And
great relay.
Yeah, great relay throw in from, I believe that was Glasser that cut it off and made the dime.
1-2, that's called third strike on the inside corner. Sarsfield goes down. Felt like Iowa was going to get into the scorebook. Gun down at the plate. Braden Frazier tagged out on the double from Cade Moss. And we'll go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Still no score between Indiana and Iowa. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth at Bart Kaufman Field, bottom of the 10th inning. John Evans and John Leo on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa and Indiana still no score in the 10th. And it will be 5, 6, and 7. Matheson, Pine, Colopy due up for Indiana. Pressure flips back to the Hawkeyes now to keep them off the scoreboard.
Boy, we end the bottom of the 9th with a beautiful defensive play from the Hawkeyes. And we don't end the 10th with a beautiful defensive play, but save the game there with a great play from Indiana.
Volker, first pitch swinging, base hit into right for Matheson. Gets away from Sarsfield. He gets it in quickly now. The leadoff single for Indiana. All right. Second hit of the game for Indiana.
Hawks all of a sudden a little wobbly here as Sarsfield came up. Ball kind of snuck through him, and Matheson's aggressive base runner, so kind of fortunate that kept him at first. Now you need to go get Pine here.
Pine with a ground out and 2 flyouts today. He's 0 for 3. First pitch from Volker. Good start, but just high. Ball 1. Runner at first with a short lead. Pause from Volker, the pitch. Popped up on the infield. Everybody comes together near the pitcher's mound. It's DeRiggi who calls everybody off. He's got it for the first out.
Nice job there. Taking charge. A little surprised. I mean, maybe Pine just can't bunt, but
I agree with you.
At this point in the game, I'm surprised you didn't see him square around one time to try to move him forward, especially when when he's ahead in the count 1-0. You're probably figuring you're going to get a fastball.
Still a runner at first with 1 out. Here's Colopy. Drives the first pitch deep to left. It's trouble. Hooking down the line. It is off the foul pole for a home run. And the Hoosiers win it on a walk-off to left. Hit the foul pole. And that's a fair ball.
Yeah, maybe it's hit the fair pole.
Indiana wins it 2-0 in walk-off fashion in the 10th. And boy, we're going to be looking back to that call at home plate in the top of the 10th.
If it makes you feel any better, then it's 2-1 now, Indiana anyway.
Sure.
Just trying to help you.
If it plays out the same way in the bottom of the 10th, which no guarantee on that. Hoosiers win it 2-0 in 10 on a walk-off home run to left. We'll head into postgame right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join U.S. Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Indiana takes game 2 of this series by a final score of 2-0 in 10 innings. Extra innings game, and the Hoosiers take it in 10. For as low scoring as it was, that game was awfully eventful.
Well, we kind of cruised through. Obviously, both pitchers were perfect through 3. Joked about it being a 6-inning game. Turned into still a 7-inning game from there. But pitching was outstanding. Even that pitch that Zach gave up the home run on was pretty darn good, and just a good piece of hitting there. Golfed it out, barely kept it fair, and then we had some defensive gems there as well.
I thought it had a shot to get foul right down that line and left. It was hooking. The wind was trying to help the Hawks, but in the end, it hits off the foul pole, which is about as rough of a way to give up a home run, isn't it?
Yeah, although I was kind of glad that I didn't want that umpire to have to make a was it fair, was it foul, as it hooked over. So from that standpoint, at least you kind of knew what you got. But, great day for the Hawkeye pitchers. Not quite as good a day for the Hawkeye fielders, although the great double play, and not quite as and certainly not quite as good from the Hawkeye hitters either. So that's all right. Regroup tomorrow and come back and get it.
Try to take the series over Indiana tomorrow at the same time. It'll be an 11 a.m. first pitch Central Time. Pregame coverage will start at 10:30. Going over some of the statistics, Marcus Morgan got the start for Iowa today through 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 2 walks, struck out 7. Great start for Marcus to get back on track in this Iowa Hawkeye rotation to probably be the Saturday starter the rest of the way.
I would think so. Even when Marcus wasn't performing to Marcus levels, the team was still winning on those Saturdays too. So it was kind of a nice way for him to take care of business, and it really works well. Zach Volker pairs well with him then coming in behind him, and Zach did a great job today. Just unfortunately going to make one mistake in his last inning of work that everybody's going to remember.
Yeah, Volker was really good. He will get the loss. He'll fall to 3-1, but 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, faced 16 batters, and he gives up the 2-run home run, the only scoring of the day, out there to left. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland on our post-game show as it continues right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Indiana takes the middle game of the series 2-0 over Iowa in 10 innings. Joined now by Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland. Coach, your general thoughts on the game today?
Well, just a really good college baseball game in a lot of ways. A lot of high stakes and both teams fighting really hard. On a day like today, it's who can cash in on the opportunities, right? They were limited most of the game. Unfortunately, they get the big hit. We had a couple opportunities, running on third less than 2 outs. We didn't execute a safety, and then just couldn't get the big hit, to score the run. And it's unfortunate, but you got to credit Indiana's pitchers, man. They gave us fits all day. Senard was really good. He just 4 pitches for strikes and a unique angle, and certainly was up to the challenge. We really struggled with both those guys, and you look at 17 punch-outs as an offense. It's just that's not something you ever want to see, but you certainly got to credit their pitching staff with how they threw it, and certainly our staff did a great job. Marcus really good, worked out of a jam there in the third, which is really big for him, some growth, which was great. And I thought Volk did a really good job. A lot of weak contact. He just kind of got ball up in the one place that he was going to get a little help, right down the line, and credit to their kid getting the big hit.
It was just one pitch in one at bat that went wrong for Volker. Unfortunately, they made us pay. But the pitching this weekend has been really good, Coach. I was really proud of Marcus today.
Yeah, Marcus was great, and he just didn't have the one blow-up inning that he'd been having, which is great for him, and just thought he was in control and certainly did a wonderful job. And like I said, Volk did a really good job there. Just made the one mistake, and their kid, made him pay. And again, you look at it offensively, and the 17 punch-outs isn't something you want to stomach. But we had some opportunities. We get thrown out there in the 10th or whatever it was, 10th inning, I think. Cade with the big hit, and they made a play. Credit to them, and that's the story of the game. They made one or two more plays more than we did, and that's why we fell short.
Yeah, certainly didn't feel like we did anything wrong today, Coach. We played pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, offense, we got to be better. We got to be better. 17 punch-outs is not okay. And regardless of how good the pitcher is, which he certainly was, we got to be better than that. And if you just put 6 more of those balls in play, who knows what happens. Sure. And that's the big thing, is you're not making them work for anything if that's the case. And, free bases were really limited. Again, it was just a really good college baseball game with 2 good teams, and they made more plays. So we'll have to wipe this one away quickly and get ready to go. Another quick turnaround tomorrow at the noon game. So it'll be a challenge. I don't know. They haven't announced a starter, so I don't know exactly who it'll be. But we got to be ready to go, and we got to be a little bit better offensively.
Well, we'll get to work, and let's take the series against Indiana tomorrow.
Thanks, John.
Associate head coach Marty Sutherland on our post-game show from Bart Kaufman Field. Indiana wins it 2-0 in 10. We're back with highlights right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hawkeye Baseball has been brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.